I'm nuts. And I'm nuts.
Yes.
I'm nuts.
The nuts are tightened.
Tight.
That's my favorite Christmas tale.
Oh, no.
Oh, hi, Internet.
Oh, hi, hey.
We're just over here tightening nuts and stuff.
What's up, Internet? So, did you like that movie list I sent you this morning, Chuck?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
How many of those are you going to watch?
None.
Oh.
Although I've probably seen about 7 minutes of all of them.
I had to laugh when I got to the second page. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Tweet.
Where it's just like, all right, 2 hetero white people wearing red and green.
Mm-hmm.
Raw live stream. So raw.
Monday Night Raw.
Not top chat. Live chat.
Live chat.
Really, Chuck?
What?
I don't even know what I just...
right.
What did he tweet? God, now I gotta log into Twitter. Fuck.
Well, that's a good tagline.
In plain.
What?
In plain. No one can hear you scream.
Where is it? Where the fuck's this tweet?
In plain.
The fuck is this tweet?
We're in plain.
That's pretty good.
Turbulences. All right, let's see something more about,
Goofs.
no, about Bushwig. What else has he made?
Bushwig.
Oh, Merkin.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wait, the guy's name's Merkin?
Yeah, the director's name is Merkin.
Alex
He's named
Merkin.
after a pubic wig.
A twig, if you will.
Merkin.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, I guess I should look this stuff up on the IMDb. Huh? Oh man, I just started typing turbulence.
This is why you said something about fucking your pups alone.
Well, I just saw that.
Yeah,
What?
You looked at his fucking...
I looked at his filmography. I
Well, I can tell you right now, that's off this fucking list. No. I'm not watching a goddamn puppy movie with Dolph Lundgren directed by this motherfucker. It's not happening.
Come on.
I will shut my eyes. I will gouge them out before...
This is like Event Horizon.
It's like your declaration. I will shut my eyes.
We haven't done Doggist in like 3 years.
Fuck Doggist. Fuck this.
Hey,
Fuck this guy.
Doggist gave us man's best friend, so you shut your fucking mouth.
Right.
It's given us like
Shut your mouth.
2 good things.
Besides, we still have to watch Spooky Buddies.
Do we?
Yes. Spooky Buddies.
Spuddies.
And then Pup Star Christmas Eve or whatever the fuck that one is. The third one. We'll just skip right to the third one because it's Christmas.
I'd watch more WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Where's
wish they'd-
WrestleMania 2?
I wish they'd make more WrestleManias.
Bring back Johnny
It was
Mundo.
Wrestle Madness.
Oh, right, sure.
Because they couldn't use WrestleMania.
Dumb.
Bring back Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo.
No. I do not want to watch this movie. I do not.
We did.
No, this... Well, I don't... I wish I could go back and not watch this movie, but I'm just saying, like...
You mean Pup?
Yeah, I'm
Pups
not...
Alone?
I'm saying I'm not watching this fucking movie. I mean, look at this. No. No.
Wow, that was
No.
like instantaneous.
No.
Do you think Dolph is Joe Pesci or Daniel Stern?
Oh, there's Wikipedia asking for money. Maybe later. No, I'm not putting my email. The fuck you think I am, Wikipedia?
Jimmy Wales.
Boy,
I'm
Jimmy
just clicking
Wales.
altitude disambiguation.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow, Wikipedia's getting aggressive.
Yeah.
Like as you scroll down, it's like, whoop.
Hey,
It's like, hey,
Whoop.
still here.
Whoop.
this
Whoop.
information
still-
also.
If everybody gave $3, we'd have a lot more money.
This film is considered to be a loose remake of Passenger 57.
shit.
It is not. No,
Loose
no.
remake is a euphemism for rip-off.
Yeah, because it's on a plane.
Yeah? Yeah?
Eh?
Yeah.
You did describe the setting well.
Yeah.
I'm going to get myself some water,
Goofs.
and then I'm going to drink it.
I brought some mango stuff, so you can make some rum in it.
Cool.
Just saying, it's mango-y. Fucking rum it.
I'm
Rum
going
it.
to take you up on that.
Okay.
Hell yeah. This party just started.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking just got lit.
We're gonna party.
Just use caution because it's Arizona and I haven't opened it yet, and they always fill that shit to the literal fucking lid.
Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna pour it all over myself when I open it.
Okay,
It's
you
gonna
know,
let it gush out all over.
yeah, fucking get you some gushers.
Yeah, just fucking
Fucking get you some gushers.
get that boot cake.
Yeah.
Bam.
Bam.
In our hearts.
Yes. Mucho mango.
Mm-hmm.
Telemundo announcer in the other room.
Yeah.
Mucho mango. I don't know why.
Mangro?
Mango.
Mango.
I just wanted to throw some rolled R's in there. Refreshing.
Read these goofs. Only 4 goofs. That's not right.
What? Goose. This movie shouldn't have been made. Agent Blair's seat is 44A. She sits in the right-hand side window seat. In real airliners, the A seat is always on the left side.
That is by far not the biggest goof
No.
of this
I just
movie.
like reading all the goofs in that voice.
Sure.
At around 17 minutes.
I noticed that, but bit my tongue.
Okay.
All right.
It bothered me.
All right.
Well-
I've been on enough planes to be like,
Then you need to mark
That's
this
not
goof
space.
interesting.
Near the end of the
no,
movie,
I will never mark anything on IMDb interesting ever.
All right.
near the end of the
Never.
movie, the air traffic controller reports that the course of the missing aircraft is heading 420. There are only 360 degrees worth of compass headings.
Oh man, they're heading 420, yo. Blaze it.
Yeah. Fucking blaze it.
And they did. At the end, they blazed it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, stir it up.
Yeah, you gotta stir it.
Oh,
Which is the
that's
difference.
another
You don't
good
shake it.
goof.
What?
What?
At around 17 minutes on the flight deck,
I'm
the
already
captain
bored.
is talking about the co-pilot and a previous fight. He was speaking about the co-pilot on that previous flight. He says, he was sitting right there in the jump seat and said to me, do you want me to take control of the aircraft from here? One cannot control the aircraft from the jump seat. He meant the co-pilot's seat.
Actually, he said, do you want me to take care of her?
I know. It's paraphrased. It's even with parentheticals.
That's pretty good.
Duh.
Yeah?
Does anybody want one?
I'm all right.
Tempting.
Yeah, well, kitchen's over there.
Cheers. I love you too.
Hey, are we live?
We are totally live.
Yeah.
We've been live.
All this has been live.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey,
We've been
hey,
live.
internet. How you living?
This is banter and drink getting.
What's going on, internet?
Bants.
Banterand.
I'm enjoying a beverage.
Oh, beverage.
Entree beverage.
Chuck's going for it.
Yeah.
do it.
Oh, man. It's going to be fun, Chuck.
Oh no!
Oh.
Don't you walk in that bath? Could you get out of that bathroom? You go to the kitchen and make a drink. Man, look at all these people. There's people in the chat.
I know. Chat,
Hello, people.
Chat is lit AF. Or something.
Man. My problem with beverages is I can never drink anything slow. Like, that's why I like old fashions. It's like the only thing that forces me to drink slow, but it still takes me like maybe 10 minutes maximum to drink an
Right.
old fashioned. It's like,
Just throw some bitters in there.
Some extra bitters in there.
I've tried.
Yeah?
Nothing works, man.
It's not the bitters that makes you drink it slow? Because that's why I don't like old fashions.
No, it's just I like to savor the flavor of that. And you can't really chug it because then it's like, well, you just wasted bourbon. Though there are people who would be like, you wasted bourbon making an old fashioned out of it. And I'd be like, yeah, you're an asshole.
There's a grade of bourbon at which you should probably not sully it with other things, but
Oh yeah,
generally
yeah.
anything
If you're
you
going
can
like
get.
Blue Label, of course, it's like don't do that.
Sully, like a plane movie?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Land.
The Miracle on the Hudson.
Don't put it in a river.
Right.
Don't put it in the river.
Love that.
Oh,
song.
I remember that Bruce Springsteen song.
He's going for it.
Do it.
He's going for it.
If you go in that bathroom, I'm going to be very disappointed. God damn it!
But maybe John Cena will visit. Cake.
Yes, boo cake.
I know it's bad for my nose, but it's a reliable way. People let out.
A skin slip, I don't think we will ever do a Twitch simulcast because there's just too many shit people on Twitch.
And we don't want to be more of them.
Right. Yeah, we
No,
don't want to
well,
add
well,
to
it's
the
not
shit
even-
pile.
It's not even that. I just don't want to spend our time moderating the chat.
Right.
We have a good chat.
Yeah.
We have good people.
We may do like a wild card Twitch, like only on Twitch this one time, just to see.
I mean, I think OBS we can push to both simultaneous. I'm just wondering how our frame rates. I mean, we have more than enough bandwidth. It's YouTube's fucking problem that can't handle more bandwidth.
Yeah. There's actually a service called Restream that you just push to them and they push to whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. I bet that looks good.
Yeah.
But a bunch of people use it. We get
Yeah,
on Mixer.
I just
Yeah, Mixer.
I don't feel like moderating multiple chats. That's the only reason I don't want to do it, but I don't know. We probably
I don't know
could.
if we'd get enough drive-by shitheads to really have to.
Yeah.
It would just be a bunch of.
And the thing about Twitch is people like expect interaction immediately.
Yeah. They do.
Like if they're talking, they're like, "Well, why aren't you addressing my question?"
Yeah, I certainly don't want to do the whole, hey, welcome, join this. Hi, nice to see you.
Thanks for subscribing.
Yeah. Oh, you like it. Thanks. You know, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Just fuck y'all.
Cheers, sir.
Thank you.
Should we start the podcast?
Yeah.
Yes. I want to talk about this movie. Barbarian Brothers are here.
What is the name of the? Is it an actual straw making that sound when you hear it on a song, or is it like an instrument that does that?
What? Like, when do you hear that on a song?
There's some song like there's Beastie Boys song, other songs where it's like where people do the straw thing, but it sounds like an actual like they're playing an instrument, and it doesn't sound just like, oh no, I just pulled that sample from somewhere. I just don't know if there's an instrument that makes a sound similar to that.
It's probably one of those weird like
Because like what's the
percussion things.
yeah, like what's the door spring thing?
The vibroslap.
Yes. See, like is there a straw squeaking in a lid equivalent of that?
Yeah, there's
for
probably
instruments?
like some like percussion wood thing that you just rub and it makes that weird noise.
No.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey!
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
It's a podcast.
Yeah. Woo. Episode 446. The numbers just keep going up.
How does that happen?
We just keep adding. It's weird.
It is
Eventually,
weird.
we'll get to the weed number.
Someday. So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here and talk about it for the first half, and then we rate them. Good bad movies. Enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot
Robot
Jocks.
Jocks.
Yay.
Really enjoy Robot Jocks.
It's where jocks come from.
However, there are bad movies, so stay away. Keep this in mind. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags is in giant bags of trash.
Boo. Oh.
Also of the airsick variety.
Yes. Air sick bags.
Sick
Yeah,
bags.
Yeah.
Junk.
So yeah, we are just doing random ass movies at this point.
Short ass movies we own.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the theme.
Okay.
It's back catalog month.
It is, yes.
I prefer short-ass movies we own.
So this
Back that catalog up.
brought us to 2017's Altitude.
Altitude.
Yeah,
It's got people in it.
it does. It has a people.
Two very specific BMFcast alums.
Sure. Mm-hmm. A lot of them.
Two.
Too.
Please discuss those two.
Well, I can tell you that Denise Richards is an alum.
Yeah,
She is.
She's from Tammy and the T-Rex.
right.
God, that was
Tamatha
so
and
long ago.
T-Rex.
That was long ago for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Including Denise Richards.
Yes.
Yeah, and also Dolph,
Mm-hmm.
who looks like he's first billed in this.
Yeah.
He is not the main star.
No.
Denise Richards has, I would say, the most screen time, but
Oh, yeah,
I
for
almost
sure.
would say Kelsey Grammer's daughter has more screen time.
Is that who she is?
I don't think so.
I don't know, same last name.
Oh,
She
okay.
spells it with an E.
I thought he did too.
I don't think he does.
Oh,
So
you're saying
he practices proper grammar.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah,
Kelsey's
but
prob-
Dolph
Yeah, but Dolph.
of Red Scorpion, The Punisher, I Come in Peace, Showdown in Little Tokyo, Johnny Mnemonic, Command Performance, In the Name of the King, The Package, Kindergarten Cop 2, and Don't Kill It.
This is his 11th appearance.
Wait, Don't Kill It? Was that an extra movie?
No,
No.
we watched it last year. You were not here for that one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was like he was like a
Whew.
demon hunter.
That was
He was hunting demons.
It was surprisingly good.
that was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
It was a, hey, that's on Netflix. It's worth watching.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we usually do a plot summary. This is super short and really dumb, and only kind of barely describes the bullshit that's happening in this movie.
Like
but
most of our plot
I'll
summaries.
read it anyway.
Okay.
A female FBI agent is offered millions to help a thief escape from a hijacked airplane.
All right.
I mean, a hijacked airplane. I don't know much, but I know this movie sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I guess first things first, we should probably point out that this has 7 production credit logos at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think a new record for BMFcast.
Yep.
felt like it.
Smashing our previous record of 5?
We were having flashbacks to our very first episode in
Yeah.
Wicker Man,
Yeah.
where the logos just kept coming.
Yep.
And then after all the logos, they do the, okay, now we have to put them in the actual
Right.
font on screen.
Now, the thing about Wicker Man, though, is it was like, that was a lot of logos that most of them you recognized.
Correct.
This is a bunch of like, all right, Media Group LLC.
Yeah.
You
These
know.
are holding companies that came about for just this one movie. Feels like.
Yeah. But yeah, Denise. The movie opens and Denise Richards is a FBI negotiator. Because it's confusing what's happening at first because there is a guy in a building. We don't even know what building until they later reveal. It's just a guy that appears to be calling a phone sex line
And sweating.
and sweating profusely.
so much.
In the year 2017,
Yes.
Yeah.
This are the year of our Lord,
a man
2017.
calls a phone sex line.
Right.
The last man calling a phone sex line.
Somebody
I love
had
the
this
last
short
man
story.
calling the last phone sex line.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then it pulls back and it's revealed he has a gun and he's at the IRS and he has hostages, and then it goes and shows her on the ground and she's in FBI gear, and you know she's trying to make friendly with him so that he'll like give himself up or whatever.
Yep.
Banter for a few minutes.
Meanwhile, her commanding
Yeah.
officer has the world's biggest murder boner to kill this guy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So much so that like when he's basically like, all right, take the shot, because the guy's like, I didn't want to do this, you know, gets to that level. He's like, take this shot when you haven't. She takes off running, runs through the building, runs up the stairs, all the while talking to him with great cell phone service. And then just as the snipers are lining up their shot, which they've had multiple shots, they just don't take it. She dives, knocks him out of the way, and
Arrests him.
arrests him. Yeah,
Somehow hurts her hand.
sure, I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird. Well,
I mean, she did dive on the dude, so you know.
yeah, but they spend an inordinate amount of time afterwards with her boss chewing her out while this EMT is like slowly wrapping gauze around her hand.
He had to time it so that from the start to the end of the rant, he would start rapping and then be
I
done
guess.
by the end. It's difficult.
I like that she basically gets demoted for ending the situation without any death.
Yes,
Right. The only death was a plate glass window that they shot
Yep.
through.
they did.
Yep.
But yeah, he gets so chewed out, and it's just like, I mean, other than it's the wrong kind of situation, almost like an instant level of, I'm gonna fucking murder you with paperwork, and you're never gonna work in this, country
You'll never
again.
work in this town again.
Yeah.
I mean, like different time zones, like
Yeah.
area codes, whatever. Like
He goes like
fucking,
bureau, city,
Yeah.
time zone, zip code, no.
But yeah, he's just like, you're off the force, and then it's like cut to she's getting on a plane.
And she never says anything to him.
No,
There's no dig, no nothing. It's like at that point, just he's already said, "I'm going to do anything I can to make your life miserable." So
Right.
why not tell him to fuck off?
Yeah.
Why not call him impotent?
Yeah.
Just do something that's going to hurt his psyche a little bit.
Yeah. Just tell him to put his tiny penis away.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
she
you're,
doesn't.
yeah. Nobody could find your murder boner, so I went and took it away for you.
Yes.
I don't know how you'll finish tonight or for the rest of your life.
Nope.
But
See ya.
yeah,
Yeah, but then she's just boarding a plane, and that's where we'll be for the rest of the movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
She's just getting on a plane to get to Washington to get chewed out by people.
and have a desk job.
Yeah, and she,
Which is always any agent's worst nightmare. Apparently, is
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
getting a desk job.
Sitting at a desk.
And right off the bat, she goes to her seat. There's a fat dude sitting in her seat, but she's like, "Please get out of my seat." And he's like, "Oh, I'm already buckled in. Just sit in the middle seat."
All the seats are the same.
Yeah,
Sit in that seat.
Well, yeah, he does. He does it. He does the shittiest thing. He's like, "No, it's cool.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. I'll
Yeah, no, I'm good here.
yeah, I'm good." And
Yeah.
she's like, "No, you're in my fucking seat."
yeah. She goes off on him a little bit, and then the flight attendant comes over and is like, "Why don't you come with me, sir? We'll get you free things."
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she offers him a free beverage, and he goes, "I'll take a free meal."
meal.
or the seatbelt extender.
She was like, yeah, I know.
I do like that they cut her off when she's telling him off. She's like, "I will rip that fucking cat shirt right off your ginger," and that's when they cut her
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Is there a problem
Ginger
there?
was going too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. But flight attendant takes her up to first class and is like, "Hey, maybe you'd be more comfortable up here. You did what I've always wanted to do."
Yeah, you got balls.
So she gets sit next to this dude who's
Sit
like,
here next to Euro Trash
yeah.
Man.
Well, like, because I
He
mean,
comes off as fake British man.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a guy that would just fake a British accent all the time to sound smarter.
yeah.
Like
Yes.
Madonna.
Now, now it should be noted, like, they've been showing us some of the occupants of this plane where it's like, yep, obvious terrorist, yep, obvious terrorist. Oh, look, Chuck Liddell, obvious
Obvious
terrorist. And then, and then when she gets to this guy, we were all like, because he's like, "Hello, my name's Terry," and I was like, "Terrier-ist, Terry-ist,
Yeah.
yeah."
It's like you're
'cause-
the head of this terrorist
Yeah,
organization.
I mean,
dude.
that's what I was thinking because he's just being nice and flirty and all this stuff, and then we quickly learned that's not really the case because he's just sitting there flirting with her. Like, why don't you just come with me to Paris instead of going getting chewed out and having a desk job? We could just stay on this plane and go to Paris.
Yeah.
And then Dolph gets this weird slow mo pull focus entrance thing
Yeah.
where he just like this guy goes into like a death glare of like, oh my god, as soon as he sees Dolph.
It's Dolph Lundgren.
And I think this was after like he saw his ex-girlfriend as the flight attendant. Like I think he saw her first because like
he
was
saw
like,
her, but we didn't know that's who she was.
because he was like, oh wow, why is she here? And then when Dolph comes in, he's like, oh fuck.
yeah, because he's basically like, it's never easy, is it? And she's like, what? And he's like, nothing.
I gotta go.
Yeah. So you're kind of thinking, well, okay, Dolph's the air marshal,
Right.
and this guy's the shit terrorist man.
But how would he know? Or I don't know.
He's dealt with this air marshal before.
It's probably easier just let me like we'll still kind of go plot by point, but might as
No
well
more
just
points
but
left.
There's not many more points left. But like this
Yeah,
dude,
but we wouldn't know that Dolph is the air marshal because we've already known who the air marshal is.
Right, yeah,
Because
she-
she makes the air marshal
right?
while
Like
she's
immediately.
being
Maybe
moved
there's
to her
2
seat.
air marshals. They also falsely point out like 3 terrorists who aren't terrorists.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah.
But in a nutshell, what is going on? Because the movie will take its time explaining this. The fake British dude, used to run with this crew that was headed by Dolph, and I guess he kind of like double crossed them because they kind of double crossed him at some point in time, and now they're basically all on this plane to get him, and he's like, "Hey, you're like a federal agent and stuff. Like that doesn't pay very well, right? Like, but you're trained, right?" He's like, "What if I gave you like $50 million to make sure I get off this plane safely?" And she's like, "What? Like, no. What the
Yeah.
hell are you talking
And
about?"
She's
he's like-
basically like, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
I'm getting up. When I come back, your mouth is going to stay shut.
Yeah.
You're not going to say another
we'll pretend
goddamn
this never
word.
happened.
Yeah. And he's like,
Yeah, because I mean, they had been getting along all right up to that point. I mean,
Sure.
she had been nice enough to him.
She should have punched him in the face in the first 30 seconds, and he should
Yeah.
have been unconscious the entire flight.
Yeah.
but instead
Yes.
she humored him throughout his bullshit fake British nonsense of just like, so want to go to Paris with me, blah blah blah, and she's like, whoa, what? Slow down.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, she's like, no, we're done here. She's like, when I come back, we're done.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, don't go. You can't go to the flight deck. They'll be in on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she just ends up going to the back, basically, right?
I think she goes to the bathroom for a bit or something like that.
She does go to the bathroom for a bit.
Because it's confusing because like there's a shot of like her going in the bathroom and then
Stewardess comes up and listens to the door.
like the real flight attendant, not the one who's part of the organization, comes
Yeah.
up and is like knocking on the door like, you okay in there?
yeah.
And
We'll
it's
listen
like
to you tinkle.
and it's weird because you think, because we've just seen Denise Richards enter a bathroom, it's one of many poor filmmaking things they do in this. It's not her at all. Like the door opens, I don't even know who was in there because someone just grabs her and like yoinks her into the bathroom, and you hear like clunk, and then body fall to
Oh,
the
it's
floor.
long hair terrorist. Man.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was like, oh, okay, so the real flight attendant's been knocked out. Also, it should be pointed out that even prior to takeoff, what's his name?
Jonathan Lipnicki.
Yeah, Jonathan Lipnicki, the
Wait, what?
I don't know what.
Witwicky?
You said Limp Dicky.
Well, shoe fits. No, I don't know.
Sir, you're a fine young man.
I don't know anything about him.
I don't know.
I've never seen the man unclothed.
Yeah,
don't know what his
he is another flight attendant, and they do. If there is one thing in this movie that is almost clever, almost like circling the runway of clever,
Uh-huh.
it's
Yeah.
that
It's in the same area code.
yeah, like he's doing. Remember, like there was a thing where like Virgin and JetBlue and all this were like, what if we jazz up the safety announcements and
Yeah.
stuff, and have a fun video where like there's dancing and stuff, but it was all in the video,
Right.
like it was just like but
He didn't get that memo.
He's Rocky Horror Picture Showing it through the aisles
Yes.
and dancing through, and the only thing that makes it funny is that he is super into it and dancing through the aisles and like doing seatbelts and flotation devices, all
Air
this shit.
humping things,
and then like, but everyone is just like.
everyone is so like not horrified, but just irritated as shit,
Yeah,
which
just,
is
like, I
the
just-
most realistic thing in this movie.
Yep.
I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
Everyone is just, dear God,
Like
please stop
we're
this.
taking off at 9:00 at night in L.A. and flying to D.C. This is literally a red eye. Like, fuck off.
Don't thrust at me. Get away from me.
But yeah, and
Yeah.
then that's over. And we're like, oh, okay, so Jerry Maguire kid, and then like he's like they literally
He's the
like
first
they
death.
just literally murder him. Like
Yeah.
no frills, just like I think it's evil flight attendant lady just grabs him and does the old like
Yep.
neck snap and then stuff him in a compartment.
Yep.
So for some reason they let the one flight attendant live. They just knocked her out and threw her in a bathroom, and they had to murder him, I guess, because they didn't like his show.
They needed his. I don't know.
I don't know.
They did. Yes. So
There's-
they say they needed his clothes.
There's no rhyme or reason for anything.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
They put this tiny boy's clothes on Chuck Liddell.
Yeah. And the other lady, I believe the long-haired guy is wearing her clothes.
Correct. Yes, they took her clothes as well.
Okay.
Because he had like the little
Neckerchief,
ascot
yeah.
thing going
Yep.
on. Yeah, neckerchief deal.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, and then they figure out a way. They send Fembot evil flight attendant lady up to open up the cockpit, which are like a little lady, and then murder the two pilots.
Yep.
So
She's wearing a really bad wig, by the way.
She is.
And luckily, we are relieved of it at this moment.
Yeah, 'cause
she's
she's-
like, oh,
It is a slow mo reveal of like, oh,
Sexy
she was wearing a
reveal.
wig. Holy shit! It's like, yeah.
oh my God, she's actually a blonde. It's like we know.
yeah.
Literally just draped a cat on her head and peeled it off.
I think was this a 2017 movie?
Yes, it
Okay.
was.
I was gonna say if it's a 2018 movie, they literally just went into Spirit Halloween and bought the last black wig that was on sale for 99 cents.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I think
bad wig.
those have been around for other years. The Spirit Halloween.
Yes,
Yeah, they
yes.
aren't new.
But I was gonna make it timely. But
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
no, it's awful. Awful.
Spirit Airlines.
It sure is.
But yeah, so she's basically the entire flight crew is murdered now at this point, or one of them's knocked out. in the
One's
bathroom.
not for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason that's like, nope, spare her because she's hot or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, so like, and then this plan involves Dolph is like the guy who's going to fly the plane. So like, the guy you would pay admission to see in this movie is literally sitting in a cockpit by himself for 90% of this movie.
He was on set for half a day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all that cockpit stuff, he was
20
acting
minutes.
against nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, there are only like 2 or 3 shots where the other people are in the scene with him.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's usually just like evil Finbot lady and the fake British dude. Those are like the only people that go in the cockpit with him. He's like the only one I think has any scenes with is those two. Mm-hmm. I don't think he and Denise Richards ever share like are on screen at the same time.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like it's implied that they can see each other from
Yep.
that one shot, but they're never like on the same screen at the same time.
Yep.
But
So this starts. They have to look for a thing. We don't know what the thing is, but they have to look for it. So they're just very slowly poking around the plane looking for something.
yeah, they haven't like gone full terrorist yet. They're just like, we have control of the plane, but we're just gonna like walk
They're-
around. And,
So Dolph gets on the radio and is because Dolph like crashes this like drops 20,000 feet. And then he's just like, "Whoa, sorry everybody, I was pilot doing things, and anyway, the flight crew's gonna come around and poke at you. So just hang tight, and we'll, something will happen." And then that's when Liddell and what's his nuts show up in their comically stupid flight attendant outfits with gas masks on,
Yeah.
like biohazard gas masks,
right.
and they're just not
yeah, but
saying
they're more
anything.
like the ones you'd get from Lowe's, like when you're doing
Yeah.
like some really like you're going to be cutting acrylic with a saw, and you want to breathe that shit
the
in.
point is like the low pressure masks have dropped. They've got those on. Those do nothing. Like
Yeah.
in terms of pressure, you know, like there's.
Who the fuck knows?
Well, I'm
know.
saying
Yeah.
like
But
you,
this
you would
whole-
need oxygen or
Yeah.
something like.
Yes.
I went to like Cybergoth Rave Supply Store for these because they're like black and yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
Black
They
and
look-
yellow. Black and yellow.
Yeah.
They look super cheap.
But it's just all of them poking around, and Terry during this chaos has managed to hide, and no one can find him, even though there's only 18 rows on this plane,
Yeah.
and the main terrorist girl is unable to walk past the first 6 rows. Like, she will intimidate the shit out of everyone in the first 6 rows, and then stop and just go, "Y'all better fucking find him," and then
Yeah,
just turn
it's-
around and go back.
It is very much like this plane's geometry works on camera angles
Yeah.
because we've all been on a real plane.
Yes. Yes.
There's nowhere to go, or there's nowhere to hide on a plane.
No.
Right.
That's why
You
they
can
have
barely
to just
get knee room anywhere.
Yeah, that's why they have to angrily just stop looking and get mad at everybody else, because if they just keep walking another 2 rows, they'll see him hiding behind a seat,
Yeah.
which is where he is.
Yeah.
They just stop doing it.
Yeah. The other point is like when the drop happens, like eventually guns come out because there is an air marshal that, as we said, Denise Richards made because he didn't know how to properly conceal his gun.
Yeah. And fake goth girl tried to poison him,
Right.
which he just
Yeah. It was like, would you like something to drink? It's like, no, I'm good. It's like, sir, it's a long flight. No, I'm fine. It's like, we're not coming back around for a while. He's like, fine. Give
Yeah,
me a
but
ginger ale.
you just said that with more inflection than she does.
I know, but
Yeah. Do you want a beverage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yes,
So he didn't drink it.
he didn't drink it, and at some point, like he's like, oh, now's my chance. Because Denise Richards came up and gave him some warning ahead of time, like
Yeah.
the plane is getting hijacked. Like we need to go check on the cockpit. And
Well,
stuff.
she found Jerry Maguire stuffed
Right.
in a thing.
Well, it's not Jerry Maguire.
I know, but I'm just going to call him that.
Yeah.
He's the littlest vampire.
Yes, that's right. So
The human head now weighs 8 pounds because he's full grown.
she sits down and just says, "I think the plane's being hijacked." And he's like, "What, really?" And she's like, "Yeah, no one's made any demands or anything, but I think it's probably happening. Some things are suspect." And he's like, "What, really? How do you know?" And she's like, I found a dead flight attendant." It's like, fucking open with that. Like, a flight attendant's been murdered and stuffed in a bin. You need to get your ass up. But he's like, "Yeah, but this is my first, this is my 3rd flight." And-
Third solo flight.
Third
yeah.
solo.
And she's just like, "Fucking hell, just get up and do something." And then his role in the rest of the movie, fuck all if I understand it. He's
He at first he's just an air marshal and things happen and he loses his gun. He drops his gun under a seat.
yeah,
And then so he's just kind of hiding because they're like, we got to find the fucking air marshal because she gets all that burned into her for a little bit. She's like, where's the guy that was sitting in the seat? Because he's
he's
just
2 rows back,
just
ducked
ducking.
behind a seat, but she won't walk past the first 6 rows.
I do like that she's looking at a manifest, like of seats,
Yes.
despite the fact that there has been fucking chaos,
Yeah.
like right before this.
Everyone flew forward
Yeah,
in the
everyone flew
cabin,
forward.
and then all back,
There
like
were-
just a big popcorn
There
thing.
were people fighting over a gun. I mean, it was like chaos.
None of those people should be in their assigned seats.
No.
And none of this makes any sense because like now there are guns out. Like she's just walking around with a gun.
Yeah.
And nobody's panicking correctly.
Not really.
They're just like, Miss, could I? No.
Yeah.
Like, there's a gun. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Excuse me, are we going to get beverages?
And I
Yeah.
do, yeah. I do like that they're taking people's masks off to try and locate whoever.
Yes, she's
There's
like, "Take your masks
Peter.
off."
Yeah, and there's like a guy holding a little baby, like, take that baby's mask off. It's like, yeah, he suddenly disguised himself as a fucking child.
I think it was his wife. She was just tiny.
She was a tiny wife, not
No.
a big air marshal
No,
dude.
I'm saying
That
like
man should not be allowed to marry a baby. That's
No, she was
it's
like lay-
illegal. There
she
ought to
was-
be a law.
It was a
against that sort of
full-size
thing.
human.
No, it was
She
not.
was like
it
laying
was a baby.
She was laying down in the seats across his lap. It was a human,
But
like
still,
a
it was
full-size
a-
human.
The
It was
point
a
stands that
human
like
child.
there's no way
It
that you
wasn't.
could.
It
Yeah.
obviously wasn't Air
it
Marshal
was
dude.
not Peter.
Right.
So clearly was not that guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not arguing that. It just wasn't a baby. That's all.
I also like, though, that, okay, so everyone has guns out. It's obvious that they're terrorists. Dolph, for the rest of the movie, maintains that he's the actual pilot.
Yep.
And is just saying random calming shit to the people. It's just like, well, we're going to have some turbulences here are happening. And
All right.
I almost think they didn't think they could get him.
Yeah.
And then when they
Yeah.
had him, they're like, "Oh shit, we got to write some stuff for Dolph to say."
right.
There is another thing that should have been a plot point in this movie. The actual pilots, when they were first taking off, the other weird thing is there was one air traffic controller that is the only one dealing with any of this shit.
Yes.
Like he's
And
been
he
on
seems like he seems calm as shit. He's
Right.
like, everything all right?
Yeah, you just dropped like 15,000 feet.
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Also, you're not
All right.
the same pilot I was rolling my
Ex-
eyes at
exactly
earlier.
because like they have a conversation about like, oh, this lady came up to the cockpit and took her top off and yeah, take the stick and like, and it's just because like you're at altitude 709, assholes.
Yeah.
So he's like clearly knows what the fucking captain is like because he's just talking to him. So then when Dolph comes on, it's like there's a point where like he for half a second it's like he goes like, well, that's not right. That's not the captain I was talking to.
Yeah.
Never fucking comes up.
No.
Like.
Yeah, he kind of
Yeah.
sits back in his
Despite
chair like,
all of these weird fucking flight things
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, and the front guy now talks like this, Like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
yeah, and he just casually explained away a 20,000-foot drop.
right. We had
like, well,
hydraulic problems.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, oh, that sounds right. Anyway, so yeah, it is just skip the entire second fucking act because it is just them running around. The only thing important is that eventually they do find a place to hide because they find the compartment that has the human like ladder down to the cargo hold.
Yes.
So they get to hang out in the cargo hold for a while. And their point is like not only is it a place to hide, but Denise Richards is like, my clearance got downgraded, so my service gun is in my luggage. If we can find my bag, I'll have a gun.
Yep.
So they're digging around looking for a bag, and then just stop
They
and have a
just
conversation
Have a
about
flirty chat.
yeah, where he's like, "Well, so tell me about this," and she's like, "I need to know like what's in the bag, like whatever." I think that's after she gets the gun. She like demands. To
Oh,
know.
no, she doesn't get the gun until the terrorists have come in.
Right, but I think okay, so like Chuck Liddell and the other dude, like granted, there's 4 people. There's Dolph, there's not Golf Girl, and then there's Chuck Liddell and long hair guy, right?
Yep.
It's a great band.
Sure. That's the band when you don't know any of the band's names. And you're just like,
Yeah. So like Chuck Liddell and long hair guy, they have like a little bit of banter where it's like I guess they're supposed to have character or something, but here's the other weird thing is like Chuck Liddell throughout this entire movie just gets his ass kicked, mostly by Denise Richards and or skinny not British dude, because it's like
he is a worthless piece of shit in this movie.
I'm just saying like why would you hire a guy that like everyone on this planet knows can actually fight?
He also apparently cannot throw stunt punches though.
No.
Because
No.
they cut away every time he even starts.
He starts to swing so far over someone's head.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? And then they just cut away to something else. And it's,
If I got any closer, they'd charge me with attempted murder. I don't know, but like they go downstairs or down to the cargo hold to like find them because it's like, oh well, there's a hatch. That's obviously where
Obviously
they went.
where they are because we searched the rest of this tiny plane.
And so they come down there and just basically get their asses kicked. And Denise Richards finally finds her gun.
Yeah.
Finally gets a bag in the chamber. Bullet in the chamber, shoots them, and it's like they're dead. And then she's just like, I still got the gun on fake British dude. Is like, I need to know what the hell are we protecting here.
Mm-hmm.
So he digs out this biohazard bullshit thing that's got diamonds
Sure.
in it.
The quietest gunshots I've ever heard on film.
I wasn't quite
And-
sure if a gun had been fired.
And nobody heard those.
Yes. Correct.
Even though they're like under the plane, they're under the passengers where,
Yes.
you would hear some noise.
Yes.
I would assume.
But those gunshots were like,
Right.
and you're like, what?
It was like a child's fart.
They were trank darts. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, he digs through this biohazard bucket and pulls out an envelope that the camera gets to peek into. Like they won't even reach in and pull out a hand of.
Oh no, because you don't want these on film.
Yeah, because these are like Hot Topic crystals. They are just the plastic garbage that you get out of a 25-cent machine at the grocery store. 3 of them in a manila envelope.
Yeah, they're millions and billion. I'm sorry, they're I think $1 billion worth of diamonds.
It says they're 10-figure diamonds.
Yes.
How knows?
9 is a billion. So
Thanks.
Yeah.
Tens of billions of dollars of diamonds.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what this movie's about. They are never really mentioned again. It's just they're in a briefcase, and that briefcase is just going to be flung around this plane forever until it magically shows up exactly where it needs to be in the finale.
Sure.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what they're there for.
Yes.
is some diamonds.
Diamonds. Apparently, they were all part of a gang, and he was a con man, and he did all the smooth talking, and then he was like, you know what? I'm taking these diamonds.
Well, there was something about they stabbed him, like literally in
sure.
the front.
They did. They
Because
stabbed
they're like
him
they
in the
stabbed me in the
front.
back. He goes, well, actually in the front. Because look and like, check out my sort of abs and a knife wound.
They
Wait, no.
a couple times.
No.
His no pack.
They a couple times kind of try to tell the backstory to it, but they seem to have not written it because they don't actually tell you what happened.
Right. They just kind of identify the placement of the characters.
But keep in mind the number of terrorists have been halved halfway through the movie.
yes. To where it is just Dolph who is locked in the
Right. He's in the
in
lockpit.
the cockpit, and Goth Girl.
Yeah. Because Dolph, it's getting to the point where it's just like, is he going to have a face turn by the end of this movie? Because it's just like he's so ambivalent towards everything that's happening.
He's sort of good natured about it all.
But then, I mean, I'm just going to get through the rest of this stupid plot. So at a certain point, like, there's more running around. Like, where are you? And then the air marshal turns at a certain point because, like, apparently he was a plant all along by this dude to protect him.
He's down in the cargo hold.
Yeah.
Right.
Because what happens is he and Denise Richards and him are still down there.
Right.
And they're like, okay, well, we need something to happen. So
Yeah.
Dolph decides to just fly into a storm for no reason.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
And then after that, and that gets Denise Richards kind of like pinned.
No, that so, all right, so,
Okay.
Air Marshal dude found
Yeah.
his gun, got Goth Girl at gunpoint, and was like, take me to the cockpit, make him open the door. And so, like, they get up to the camera or whatever, and she's like, you know what to do. And he sort of rolls the plane, like, enough to jostle one around.
Banks it for half a second.
Yeah, which she gets the drop back on him, and it's just like, what is he paying you? We'll double it or something like that. And so, like, Denise Richards is pinned, and fake British dude's like, well, I'll go get help or something. He's just like leaves her.
Well, yeah, but he leaves her because the air marshal comes down.
Right, but Air Marshal never sees her. Like he basically tells the story. He's like, oh yeah, Chuck Liddell and long hair like took care of her. Sorry, and so like there's a heel turn for the Air Marshal dude who was already a heel. It's like a double heel turn because like he was already like on his bank payroll or something like that. And then it's like, nope, Goth Girl got the drop on him.
Now
So they
he
take him
works
up to
for
the
her.
cockpit, and it's like it's just like menacing, like a lot of Dolph like where are the diamonds and and I don't know, like quasi backstory bullshit, and then Denise Richards just finally wrests herself free from this because she couldn't get out on her own earlier, but she just finally does, and then in the meantime,
Well, Dolph lands the plane.
they land the plane, like, they have a fire runway.
Yeah.
Just somewhere in, like, the mountains/woods. They have just blazed a runway on this flat surface. Apparently, as we said, the Fast 6 level of runway.
Yes.
Because
It is
they
29 football fields.
they land the plane because, like, fake British dude is basically now like, what's the deal? How are you going to get away from this? Like, you haven't planned anything out. He's like, well, yeah, I have. It's like, it's like, we're on the ground here. It's like, I've got some mechanics out there replacing the black box that's going to, like, tell a whole different story. We're going to crash the plane, and all the bodies are going to be accounted for because we're going to murder everyone on this plane. And we have extra bodies with identification for us. And so we're set.
know.
They'll never know. And he's like, wow, that's such a good plan. You really are smart. And so, the mechanic dudes who just... we never saw their face. They just walked in like full face coverings.
Yeah, but all their tats are out, which
is
just
weird. Like, yeah, like full like ninja masks, but like sleeveless shirts in
Yeah.
this fucking snow.
Yep.
With like unique tattoos that everyone go like, well, it look like
That
this.
guy had Ace of Spades on his shoulder.
But I guess like they've just planned for everyone to be dead. But these guys come in and do their thing in like 5-10 minutes, and then leave the plane, and they don't leave the plane. They're just like, we're gonna take off the plane now and crash it with all the people.
Well, Denise Richards fights one of them.
Yeah, fights one of... Well, I think she kills both of those dudes, or whatever.
She does, I believe.
She releases the
Hounds.
the flight attendant who didn't get murdered, and like while the plane is taxiing, their plan is we're going to open up the rear door, throw out the emergency slide, and just one by one start carting people off this plane.
It is at this point that I would like to bring up a fact that one of the people said earlier in this movie. There are 200 people on this airplane.
Sure.
That's what they say.
There are actually like 12.
Yes.
There's like a score.
Yeah.
Perhaps one score.
One score.
Yep. But yeah, there are 200 people on this airplane that they are going to hustle out. No.
Yeah.
When they show them all lined up, it's maybe 14 at the outside.
Maybe that.
But yeah.
It was at this point that Mackie had a very proud moment.
Oh, yeah. Because I looked at it and put myself in character and said, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Because because this is a plane going near takeoff speed.
yeah.
It's going super fast, and the
actually,
floppy emergency thing is hanging out.
and I said, are you fucking kidding? And the first guy who walks up to the thing looks at it and goes, are you fucking kidding?
Yep. Yeah. Not to mention, the runway is still literally on fire.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're being pushed out of this plane at 200 miles an hour to land
Well, yeah.
in a row of fire.
Takeoff speed of a 737, 150 miles an hour.
Okay.
Way too fucking fast for me
Yeah.
to jump out of it.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm going to go with 40. 40 to 50,
40
you're
is
going to
too
die.
fast. Yes.
40, you'll probably survive. It's going to hurt a lot. 50 and above, you're probably dead.
Yeah.
If my life is on the line, I might do 60 to 80. I might.
Your life is no longer on the line. Your life is just over.
Right. Well, I mean, either my life is forfeit or
that's just a crapshoot,
I have a
you know.
really good story, right?
Yeah.
If I get to live, in a cast for the rest of my life, whatever.
Here's the most important detail about all this, though.
And if you use the metric system, it's like 150.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
The most important detail is that we never see any of those people again.
No,
They probably
no,
did
'cause
die.
they're-
No, we
Yeah.
see flight attendant do a combat roll and then just like look up like, well, plane's taking off.
Yeah, but the other 200 people,
Well, yeah.
they dead.
They dead.
Well, yeah.
There is a trail of mangled flesh behind.
I assume
Yeah,
the end of the
burning.
movie is like she's fine and like the rest of it's like alive.
Yes, she just. Well, there's fire, so
Yeah.
she could cook it.
Yeah.
Just immediately starts eating them.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is they're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Like they're in
They're
what
in
I assume are the Rocky,
flatland
some flat part of the
mountains.
Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, they're in the Himalayas in Colorado.
Yes.
Right. Kalalayas.
Yes. Still with the same air traffic controller, who's working at LAX or wherever he is, who's been with them the whole way.
Yeah, and
Well,
he's
they're
just
real
like,
lax.
oh, there they
They're
are.
lax about their hours.
Oh, I see. Yes, that does make sense. Yeah.
I believe that like LA Center could cover to the Rockies.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Fine.
I mean,
No, because there's a lot of fucking planes in the air.
That one guy's very busy.
I don't mean just one person. I
Oh.
mean LA like
Okay.
you know.
Fair enough. So now, okay, so there's 5 people left on the plane. Mm-hmm. Denise Richards, goth terrorist girl, Dolph, Terry, and somehow
The air marshal.
the air marshal who has face turned, heel turned 16 times is back.
Mm-hmm.
He went back to his hiding spot and pops out again.
Yep.
But so okay, they're taking off.
They have taken off. At this
Yes.
point.
They're climbing.
They're just basically going straight up. They're going to fucking space. And so this is Denise
like Airplane
Richards.
2.
Yes, Denise Richards is pretending to climb through the rows to get up to the cockpit, and that's when
Because the rear door is still wide open. I think it's actually blown off at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
and Air Marshal dude pops out from behind a seat, and he's like, "Hey, stop! How much did Terry offer you?"
$10 million?
Yeah. He's like, she's no. And he's like, what, 20? And she's like, more like 50.
Higher.
Yeah.
And he's like, son of a bitch.
Right. And then it's around this time that the beverage cart comes loose and rolls down the aisle, and she's like, woo.
Yeah. and it knocks him into the wall. I do want to point out that I appreciate that she does a callback to earlier in the movie when she first spotted him, where he was reading a magazine called Mega Yachts Monthly.
Mega Yachts Monthly.
And she's just like, you were supposed to serve and protect. You're
Yeah.
a piece of shit. Mega Yachts Monthly? Really?
Yep.
And he's like, I was going to buy a yacht.
I was going to
I
get
like boats.
Yeah.
Why are you being mean to me? I just wanted my money.
He is the toughest looking worthless man I've ever
Oh, yeah.
seen. Like, you look at him and go, yeah, that's the air marshal. And then he's just like, well, golly gee, I don't know
Yeah.
what to do. You're like, what the fuck?
Point of order, that beverage cart would have killed him.
It should have.
To death.
It
Oh,
should
yeah.
have squashed his head.
Yep.
But no, he's...
I think it just kind of knocked him out and then he flew out the window, right?
he
Well,
does
no.
He's still
More
fighting
drama.
with her, and she's slipping back on the
Oh.
on different seats, and she ends up kicking him a bunch of times until he finally gets knocked out of the plane.
Yeah.
And she doesn't say anything.
No, but
Not
there's
a
a
word.
long ass shot of her watching him fall out of the plane, and she doesn't say shit.
Nope. It's not until the next one.
Have a nice flight,
And it's
or
not good.
you know,
Buckle up.
Anything.
buckle up.
Get off my plane.
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday plane.
Be seeing you, Marshall.
No. Anything. But no, nothing.
Yeah. But, yeah, she gets up to the front
She
and,
resumes
like,
her climb.
Goth Girl is, like, coming out of the cockpit with a umbrella, or a
Yes.
parachute.
Yes.
She's gonna,
Yes.
she's gonna marry Mary Poppins, y'all.
Right down.
Sorry.
Lord.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah. And at the same point,
Parachute.
Terry,
Woo, motherfuckers.
at about the same time, Terry has
Chip,
freed
chip,
himself from his bonds once again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is able to kind of get the drop on Dolph.
There's a loose fire extinguisher in the cockpit that he just picks up and rams Dolph in the head. And Dolph's like, oh, hell no. And starts beating the fuck out of Terry. Meanwhile, the plane is just doing whatever it does.
Yeah, so there's two simultaneously poorly filmed fights happening.
Dolph's
Yeah.
fight's better than Denise Richards' fight because
Yeah.
they just go into the initial
though?
wrestling grapple position and just push each other back and forth.
Yep.
And then it's
Yeah.
funny because the camera pulls out and you see that one door is just wide open. And they're just
They should have
fine
both been sucked out
immediately.
Actually blown up. But
But they keep fighting over by the other
space.
door. Like, the point of the scene is going to be, oh man, someone's going to open that door, and it's
Yeah.
just like, no, that won't fucking matter.
No, and Denise Richards gets like basically knocked out the door almost.
Yeah,
except she's holding one of the handles for one of the
yeah,
cabinets
she's
there.
all the way out, like hanging on with one arm.
Yep.
And then they magically switch places.
Somehow, Goth Girl gets out further than
Yeah,
Denise
Goth
Richards
Girl's
is.
about to throw her out. And
Yeah.
She
then-
was trying to peel her fingers off, like you know I'll get you if you can't hang on. You'll just
Yep.
go the rest of the way. And all of a sudden, it's like, wait, they're in exactly the opposite spots.
Yep.
And then she kicks her hand. She goes flying out. Really badly, CG gets cut in half by the wing as she flies by it.
Yep.
And this is when she does bother to say, "You need to adjust your altitude, bitch."
Yep.
Eh.
Hey, at least she got cut in half
Yeah,
by a plane wing.
sure. In a better
It's
movie,
the-
that would be great.
Wettest fart of a line delivery.
Yeah.
It's, yep.
Yep.
And then
And-
Dolph
and-
just gets knocked out by the fire extinguisher. Fake British dude comes out all fully parachuted
Parachuted,
up, like ready to
umbrellaed
go. Yeah, he's all Mary Poppins and Chim Chim Tree, and comes out and she's like, "We lost the other parachute," and he's like, "Any excuse?" Because like he's been weirdly flirting with her.
He's basically just like, hop on.
Yeah.
And she's like, hell yeah. And then
Ride my disco stick.
and she's just like, oh, wait, the briefcase full of the diamonds.
Yeah.
And she grabs that. And he's like, oh, yeah, good thinking. And then they just go, whoop, and jump out of the plane.
And then they hang there in the air for 25 minutes
Yeah.
while they watch the plane. Like, hang there in the same spot in the air while they watch the plane fly into a mountain.
Dolph wakes up just long enough to look at the mountain and go, ah, shit.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He
And
looks
then-
at that fucking mountain
And
for
then he
5
just kind of
minutes.
skulks. He just kind of just like, man, fuck everything. And then, yeah, the plane slow-mo crashes into the mountain.
Well, if I die, he dies.
So there's this slow-motion CG explosion on the mountain and just these two people hanging on a hook in a studio somewhere, not moving,
Not a hair
wind
on
barely
either of their heads.
touching, and they are just like hanging there like, well,
Yeah, how about Paris and stuff
let's go to
now?
Paris and
They got
things.
diamonds and stuff now. I the whole time I was imagining the top secret parachute thing.
Yes.
Like, because, like, where they're just having a conversation and, like, they're like, what? Yes? Changing position in the sky. But yeah, it
Fireplace
just
comes
basically, like, ends on them hanging there in midair. And then
Yeah, we don't even know if they ever descended.
it could just been, like, some weird Rocky Mountain updraft.
Yeah. Also,
They're getting
they're
on a
over
Rocky Mountain.
nothing.
Yeah, they're gonna die in
Yes,
that forest.
they are.
Whenever they land, they're gonna die on the side of that
Yeah,
mountain.
there's a whole other movie there that we don't
Yeah.
see.
Fight the bear with diamonds. Come on, bear. I'll shine a light through the diamond and blind the bear.
Cubic barconium. Yeah.
Cubic furconium.
Oh, for Conan.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There
It's much
you
better.
go.
Idiot.
Much
Yeah.
better.
But no ancillary awards, no
No.
ensign, no star road,
No
none of that
anything.
stuff. This is
No,
not
the
that
music.
type of
The
movie.
music is terrible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and
it-
barely used. I mean, I don't know if I'm like wanted more music, but
They use it during the quote-unquote fight scenes, and it just does not add anything to the already
It's like
lackluster fight
Dun,
scenes.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
It's like music.
Generic as shit.
It's just, hey, things are happening.
they
You
did
should-
have
you
some Ride of the Valkyries at one point for
Yeah.
no
yeah,
reason.
for no reason.
Yeah,
should- Yeah.
That was
They
when he
also-
was flying into the storm.
which meant nothing.
Nope.
They also had like 90 seconds of some other classical piece of music.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, yes,
I can't remember what it was, but it was.
it's the piece of music they use in True Romance when Christopher Walken is going to murder Dennis Hopper.
yes.
I don't know what that piece is called, but that's the piece that it is.
I don't think I heard this in this movie, and I
yeah,
don't remember what
it's
that is from that.
it's very early on before the terrorizing.
Maybe that's when I walked out
happens.
of the room for a minute.
It could have been. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll go ahead and go.
Okay.
First off, I'll start by saying 4 bags.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to explain a little bit why this is even worse than we probably made it sound.
I think we made it sound awesome.
Probably
It is not.
we have a habit of doing that.
probably better than it is. And here's the thing: is like we watch a lot of bad movies, and like all right, at this point in this time with this much money, because like this movie, I mean, I know $5 million. That's what it says on IMDb was the budget. I know that's not much in movie making terms these days, but it's more than a lot of other shit we've watched, like in the VHS era, like direct-to-video bullshit.
Sure.
You know, we've just watched a lot of like ineptly made things on actual film. Now we have real cameras that pretty much will focus and do everything and have low light mode. This movie is flat as fuck. The color schemes are flat as fuck. The lighting scheme is flat as fuck. There's no music throughout almost all of this movie. There are moments that I think are supposed to be tension building that are it's indescribable how
Boring.
how boring the parts where it's like where you're waiting for something to happen and then it happens. It's like, oh,
The scene where they're searching the cargo hold for her,
Right.
Where Chuck Liddell and long-haired terrorist are searching the cargo hold. Like she's just sitting there,
well, she's
There's-
like reaching over for a gun.
reaching
it's like,
for a gun.
oh,
There's
no tense
no
music.
noise.
Yeah,
Just like the sounds of two men chucking things around and her reaching in a bag.
yeah.
She's like, "Hang on, almost there. I almost got it. It's okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Aw, shit, I
Well,
forgot the magazine."
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, thanks. You can
All right.
stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like
hell?
it's just that's the best way I can describe it. This movie is so unbelievably flat, and then on top of that, I don't understand what it is. I don't know where this was filmed. I don't give a fuck if it was one of the Bulgarian movies or whatever. But there's something about all of these movies, these direct-to-video, mostly shot in Bulgaria type things, where they just put some sort of stupid Instagram filter on the whole fucking movie. where this thing just looks washed out and gray, like almost like polarized, but not.
Yeah.
And
Well, the plane has some weird lighting in it.
That too.
Like
Yeah.
some super stylized bluish gray light going on
Sure.
where it's just like, no, you wouldn't do that in a plane.
And the last point about the lighting, good God, man, this person does not know how to light people. Like, Dolph looks 20 years older than he is. Denise Richards looks about 10 years older than she is. And even the young goth girl who's kind of pretty, like, when she first shows up, I think it's because, like, I'm not saying I liked her with the Halloween wig on better, but I think it's the dark hair framed her face better. As soon as she had blonde hair, all that stupid, like, flood fluorescent light thing was just bouncing off her face where everything looked craggly, is the only way I can describe it. And she's like 20-something. You know, it's like she's not craggly. I mean, you know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
It's the most unflattering thing you could do to your actors with this movie.
The lighting is bad.
It's really bad.
It's shockingly bad for.
I mean, look, I'm
2017.
not trying to be mean. Like, Denise Richards is getting older, obviously.
She's 47.
She's 47. I mean, but this movie does her zero favors.
There are ways to light and
Yeah.
make up people so that they look better.
She looked jaundiced at points. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know, like it was weird.
Yeah. The opening scenes, like when she was the opening FBI stuff, she, you know,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, she looks she looks pretty good. And then she gets on that plane and it's like she looks like a ghoul. And it's like, why are you lighting her from underneath? That is the like God, it just I think we've reached a point where no one has learned from anyone else how to do anything. And they just think like turn on lights. And so no one knows exactly where to put them. They just think they need them. And that's what happened here. It was just like, we need lights.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, they look terrible. We can see them.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the whole thing was like lit by like a makeup mirror, just like one of those like just flood the light, you know, flood it with fluorescent lights.
It's a lot like the people who bought a camera and they go, I'm a photographer now.
Yeah.
And it's like, you are not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean,
like
the other thing I think is like maybe this thing they never white balanced, because that could explain the filter look. Is that this was lit by like fucking fluorescent floods, and they were just like, yeah, the default white balance, go.
Yeah.
It's like, so that's why everything's that like Fight Club puke green thing going on.
Yeah.
It's fucking bad. It's not 5 bags because it's like, it's not like something that like pained me from a storytelling point. It's not like the Forbidden Zone thing where like this is just shitty all around. Like fuck everything about this. This is just completely inept filmmaking on every level, and that's why it's so bad. So it doesn't quite get to that anger zone of 5 for me.
No.
The anger zone.
I'm only at 2 bags. I didn't hate it as much as you guys, but yeah, it fails on so many levels, and especially just misusing Dolph, which will always get me angry.
That
It's-
deserves another bag.
Yeah,
Give it another bag.
No, it's, yeah, it's just it's inept. It's poorly lit, and it's one of those things where it's like when they write the script, they go, there's supposed to be tension here, like you know, there's supposed to be okay. Oh, is he going to find the gun under the seat? As you know, as they're walking around yelling at people about where's the man who was in the seat. You know, it's like that stuff's supposed to be tense, but it's just when you don't know what you're doing, it's not, and it's dull, and it just doesn't work. And the timing and editing of so many scenes is just like kills any momentum that these scenes should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bad filmmaking. But to me, it's not anything I'm going to remember. So that's like when you get in 4 or 5 bags territory, I'm like, I'm going to remember the pain of this one. I'm going to fucking hate when anyone mentions that. And this one, somebody's going to mention it and be like, was that the Denise Richards one with the fake British guy?
Yeah.
And Dolph just kind of sitting in a cockpit humming to himself? Maybe I remember that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's only 2 for me, but still bags. Trash.
I was sitting at 2 bags literally the whole time until the end when I decided to throw another bag in there and give it 3. I was holding out hope that either in a good way or a hilariously bad way, the ending would at least do something I was interested in. And when it just becomes a we're hanging on a hook in a studio somewhere, golly gee, where do we go from here? Womp womp, you know, and then it ends. You're just like, oh man, really? Like, there's not a single thing I can point to in this. Not a line, not a not in anything where I can go, yeah, someone took a shot there and did something. It's just none of that. It's just
when I can call the line that your movie's going
Yes.
to use at a certain scene.
it's a first pass screenplay
Yeah.
is what it is. Someone banged out all these things, and it was just like, all right, we got to shoot it.
Like I said, the closest is the making fun of the over enthusiastic, flight instruction video thing.
Yeah,
but that's
yes.
like, I mean, that's like, okay, we tried. That's like the only thing I can say. Like, okay, you tried something.
Yeah, and it doesn't have, but the memorable part is not anything that he's doing. It's just the fact that people are
Right.
actually reacting the way that people on an actual plane would, which is they are all, they're not angry, they're not, and there's not one person who's overjoyed, but it's just, they're all just like, please end this. I just want to be left alone. And that is the most realist, that is absolute reality right there.
Like, I've been on a plane before. Fuck off.
Exactly. So I always go back to executive decision, especially with these kinds of movies, and that's the mold this movie is supposed to be in. And executive decision is so good with the tension because things keep going wrong, but it all makes sense. And the stakes keep raising because everything makes sense as to why it's happening. In this movie, like I said earlier, the only reason there's tension is because characters are too lazy to keep walking through the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking stupid. It's bad. It's just it's not bad in a fun way. It is just this scene will break if this character walks any farther than they've walked so far, and that's just lazy. That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, because this is like a normal 3x3 plane. Like three seats on either side. It's not even like they do that like the movie thing where it's like this is a double decker,
Right, exactly.
like 2-story
Like,
plane.
there's
Like
just
I'm
so
like-
much
I'm like,
space.
has anyone ever actually been on one of those planes like in their life? Ever been on one where there's a fucking staircase to another level?
No,
No,
No.
I haven't.
No.
I know they exist.
yeah.
But
Upstairs, there's like a pool. And
Yeah, like there's a bar up there and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
just, well, what do you have?
fucking passenger cars. Like, oh, go to the diner
There's
car.
a caboose.
I mean,
We'll go to the second
it's
story
not even
caboose.
like it's that level of plane where it's like, well, there's plenty of places to hide. No.
Yeah,
This
no,
is-
it's
No,
two
it's
sections.
a regular like
Yeah.
a 737.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go on that plane.
Yep. So, yeah, 3 bags. Boo.
I will also echo 3 bags, although I may talk myself into 4 by the time I'm done with this.
All right.
This is a 48-hour film festival-ass movie that was made with a lot of money and a couple actors that you've heard of and a couple actors that some other people may have heard of. But it feels like watching this movie and listening to you guys talk about it, I sort of came to the conclusion like 4 or 5 minutes ago. I was like, holy shit, everything is rushed. Everything is first pass. Everything is one shot, or we don't have enough time to get coverage, or we don't have time to block this out properly. We don't have time to revise the script because we wrote it and oh my god, it sounds stupid when you say it out loud. Oh my god, we don't have time to get 200 people together on an airplane. Oh my god, we only have time to like rent one section of an airplane to shoot this. Mm-hmm. It reeks of not enough time, all the money but not enough time. And it's entirely possible that that's what it was, is they just had to basically make it in a weekend because they only had these people for, they had Denise Richards for 2 days of filming, and they had Dolph for 1 day of filming, and they just had to do whatever they could as fast as they could and then edit it. But at the same time, like, it's also filmed amateurishly. Like, all the shots are plain.
Yep.
That's usually my thing. Say something and they go, hey.
They're all very pedestrian, It's weird. It's like nobody knows how to use a camera in this. Nobody knows how to light anything. So, I don't know, like, part of me wants to say it was like a 24-hour film festival or 48-hour film festival with people who had the money and kind of knew what they were doing, but at the same time, they didn't really. Nobody knows how to get a good performance out of Denise Richards. She's obviously capable of doing it. Dolph is obviously capable of putting in a performance, we've seen him do that a time or two.
Hold up. Back to your previous point. Have we? Like, do we know that Denise Richards is capable of giving a
She's
good
better
capable
than
of
this.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to that point, I will say this about Denise Richards. Her age notwithstanding, like, I would never consider her as any kind of lead action-y type character.
No, for sure not.
And this movie doesn't do her any favors because whenever there's any kind of physical conflict, they just put a stuntman on with the wig that covers the entire face. And so you never see Denise Richards actually do anything.
Not really.
And that doesn't do her any favors, and it certainly doesn't do the movie any favors, because as soon as there's any kind of tussling going on, it's clearly just someone in a big
they
blonde
do have
wig.
they do have the fight between her and Goth Chick, and those side shots
Yeah, but
are
all they're
her,
doing,
but
they're
it's
just
terrible.
pushing
Yeah.
each other.
They're
That's all
fighting
they're doing.
like old people.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Also, you can't even bring past experience with you because she's a fucking negotiator.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of like field combat experience does
Well,
it?
she said that they train you for everything.
Yeah,
So-
20 years ago at the academy.
Right. But that's like saying like the potato peeler in the Navy went through combat training. Yes, but okay, that works in Under Siege, but never again. Okay, like
Almost got him.
yeah,
You walked yourself into that.
I did.
didn't
I
you?
just I was actually walking there myself. But
Ah, okay.
I'm saying like no, it's just it doesn't make any sense because like that's subverting your expectations because you're expecting Steven Seagal to already kick ass and you're like, oh look, he's a cook. This is like she's not known for being an action star, plus she's a negotiator. What like there's just you're not bringing anything.
There's
here.
no reason for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But it's just it's a mess. It's like a Hallmark movie or something. Like
Yeah.
Lifetime movie, maybe even.
It felt like it took that long.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Three Jocks. I don't know if I.
What?
I think
But by the end,
or Three Bags.
by the end, it was not an oxygen movie though.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, 3 bags.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've talked myself into 4, but because of Mackey's point, it's maybe not one that I'm going to remember. I wanted to walk out. I probably, by the time I get home, will have forgotten everything
Oh, sure.
even remotely interesting about this movie.
But I've forgotten ones I've given good ratings to, so
sure.
I'm still rating it in the moment,
Yeah.
not long term.
Yeah, I'll stick with 3 bags for now.
Okay.
Right to reserve my rating, Raider.
We're okay.
Right to revise my rating, Raider. Excuse me.
Right.
Totally. Let's get out of here, shall we?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm Mackie.
We got to do a second half.
Oh, please.
You're not.
I'm
I'm
Harbco.
Yeah. Let's take a break, shall we?
Okay.
All right.
sure.
That sounds good.
I like a break.
This movie has literally broken my brain. I
let's get
swear
out of
my
here, shall we?
I swear my brain was working better before this movie started.
Aw.
I had a good night's sleep and everything.
Now you're just plain dumb.
Man.
I am.
Braggart.
I put the electric blanket on last night. It was fucking rad. Fucking,
That does sound
I
rad.
cocooned up.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it was like basically like I was Steve Gutenberg. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I will admit it's kind of nice with the dogs in the bed now that it's cold.
Oh, yeah. Now.
Because they burrow in and they don't want to go anywhere.
Yep.
And you move, they don't fight you. They're just like, nope, staying down here.
I'm right here. We're
Yeah.
good.
I don't have to come out and check on nothing. I know what's out there. Cold.
Doesn't matter if there's someone in this house.
Yeah,
it is too cold.
They don't give a shit if there's someone in the house anyway.
Yeah.
Oh man. So you got a bunch of movies second half, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm only going to talk about 3 of them.
Okay.
I have 14 movies, but
I will make a public service announcement.
What?
That Sorry to Bother You is on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize Hulu got like stuff new quick.
Hulu got the movies.
I've never had Hulu before now, so
on Hulu or is it on one of our services that we had bundled in with
It's on Hulu.
It's actually on Hulu.
Yeah.
Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah. I need to check HBO more often because HBO gets a lot of pretty new stuff, and I just never.
Just be careful. Some of it's formatted. Like
What?
they will make it 16 by 9 instead of like 235. So if you really care on certain movies, they will
I
fuck
did.
it up.
I watched Red Sparrow last night on HBO, and it was formatted properly.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe they've changed their ways.
I know some filmmakers have like a no, you will not show my movie unless it is properly formatted. So,
Okay.
also don't watch Red Sparrow.
Too late. I already have.
Oh, sorry.
Why? I thought it was pretty good. Oh, that's a very,
Chuck
very
no
that's a very
lie.
in-depth review.
Yep, that's as much as I'm gonna say about it.
Chuck no lie.
Blah.
Okay. It's a good debate.
Thanks. Debate me.
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm only going to talk about 3 of these movies.
How about you?
I got 2.
I also have 2.
Wow.
We got the movies.
I
We
got
share
nothing.
a movie, Harlow and I.
Aw.
Yeah.
Did you share it?
It's our movie.
Hmm.
Nice.
No
We
movie-
did. We Eiffel Towered it.
No movie will ever be our movie.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, let's do
We
this.
have a movie that's our movie.
I know. It was Billy Madison.
Oh, no.
You guys made Billy Madison?
We did, yeah. Pretty good, right?
You and I.
You guys fucked to Billy Madison?
Yeah, we did.
A few times.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast.
I'm jealous.
That's Happy Gilmore.
I know.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
I was like, do you have any more gum? More gum? More gum?
Yeah. I watched an Adam Sandler movie.
Did you?
I'm sorry.
Me too.
Oh.
Oh, let's do this on air like we're supposed to.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about that one. I wasn't.
Why not?
Well, what is it? Give us some banter in the middle then.
No,
Yeah,
it's
give us
just it's
bonus content.
It's called The Week of. It's his latest 3 weeks on Netflix movie.
Okay.
They make a new one every 3 weeks, and this
Uh-huh.
one was directed by Robert Schmeigel, so I thought it would be good. And it sucks.
That's a shame.
I just don't know if I can trust you anymore.
What happened to Robert Smigel?
I'm sure he's fine. It's just this movie's not very good.
What else did you see that you didn't like?
Uncle Drew.
What propelled you to watch Uncle Drew?
It was 16 cents.
Okay, that's a good enough propulsion.
Yeah. I figured there might be some jokes in it that work, and there are. But it's just, hey, do you want to watch young people pretend to be old and play basketball really well? And I was
Yes.
just like, I was good with that for about 30 minutes, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm tired of this.
Do they pretend that Shaq isn't old?
No, he's old.
Okay, so he's old throughout. They're
Yeah.
not like, oh, Shaq. He's actually a young Shaq.
He's not Shaq. He's just, they're all characters.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even play into the finale. He's so old.
Yeah.
Because he had like,
Bursitis.
Yeah, rickets.
Yeah.
Fat
So-
rickets.
Something happened to his sciatica.
Yeah. He needed icy hot.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe some help, some insurance from the general.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on.
Maybe it was lumbago.
That's what I can't figure out about Shaq. Like,
That gag's got
the
whiskey.
guy made like $200 million in the NBA.
He did, yeah.
How much money do you need? Like, that he's doing commercials for the goddamn general.
I think when someone
Like
backs up a
half-assed
Brinks truck to your
insurance.
house and it's just like, hey, do you want to fill your pool with money? He's
Okay,
like,
now
But have you seen the general
Yeah, have
commercials?
you seen these commercials?
yeah.
There's no Brinks truck of money.
There might be.
These are like $50. These were made by people with like $50. And a nephew who does 3D animation.
Maybe he's like Nick Cage and didn't pay his taxes for 20 years and needs money.
Maybe, but he's also on like Inside
Gotta-
the NBA.
gotta pay his
He
Shaq
just
taxes.
does. Yeah. Oh,
Shaxes.
there we go.
Back Shaxes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm always fascinated with athletes who are just like, you know what? I'm going to endorse a steakhouse.
Most of them blow all their money.
It's probably also somebody's like, hey, Shaq, man, I need a favor. Like, it's one of his...
Oh, maybe Shaq's an investor in the general.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe,
yeah.
yeah.
He's part owner of the
Right.
general.
That is more
One of his
believable.
buddies from college that didn't quite make it in the
Yeah.
NBA is like an ad exec at the
Yep.
general. It's like, Shaq, would you please do me a favor?
Yeah.
There's also that...
But who are the ad wizards?
I just feel like the guys from Detroiters would make the general commercials.
Detroiters. I don't know.
It's a show on Comedy Central. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Good.
Anything else worth mentioning there?
Nah.
No, I didn't really mean to mention that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, someday we'll debate. I'm curious if your Red. Yeah, I didn't think like Red Sparrow was the greatest thing ever. I'm just like, don't understand why you're like, yeah.
Okay.
That's your review. Nah.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't leave Jennifer Lawrence alone.
Leave Jennifer Lawrence alone.
Okay.
That movie just felt like Hollywood Casting Couch, the movie.
Wow, I didn't get that. At
It
all.
just felt like, here, lady, if you want to be this, you got to go through this. Deal with it.
Well, all right. That's looking at things for a really weird.
You want to not
lens.
die? Enjoy rape.
Yeah, I mean,
Just-
it's a way to look at it, I guess.
It's
suppose.
it's just a very unpleasant film.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't make it
I
bad.
didn't say it was bad. It was very unpleasant, and I don't want to ever watch it again.
Okay, fair enough.
So anyway,
Let's do movies.
yeah.
All right, welcome back.
Hey,
Hey.
BMFcast.
Hey.
Half number 2.
The second half.
Dun, dun, dun,
That
dun.
sounds like this half.
Yeah.
It is this half.
Y'all two got the newest movie.
We do,
Man.
I think.
Yeah, I
I
suppose
wish
so.
I had a movie.
Aw.
I was gonna watch Sorry to Bother You because it's on Hulu, but life finds a way for me to not watch movies.
That makes sense.
Yep. But you guys saw stuff.
Yeah, we watched something. Speaking of watching things on a digital platform,
Good work.
we watched the newest Netflix. One of the newest Netflix things. They keep dropping things all the time.
Yeah.
But one of their latest exclusives is they got the latest Coen Brothers movie. Mm-hmm. So that's a bit of a get as
Yeah.
far as the film world goes.
It's
would
an
say so.
anthology series of shorts, vignettes.
Yeah.
I think
I don't
it
know
was
what you call
supposed
that.
to be a series that they put together into a
Well,
movie.
if you read the trivia, that the Coen Brothers have adamantly said they will never do a television series
Okay.
because they don't like the open-ended format of television.
All right, sir.
And they are not cohesive enough for it to be a
Right.
television
No,
series.
They're almost unrelated.
Okay.
Except there's one common thing. So, but we watched the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah.
We still haven't
You'll have
mentioned
to
this.
tell me what the common thing is later because
Okay.
I totally missed it. I'm an idiot.
All right. Well, yeah, it's a tough one to talk about because there's, as we said, there's a bunch of stories,
6, I think.
6 or 7, something like
Maybe
that.
7.
It's a few. They overall not necessarily related, but like all Coen Brothers movies, when the opening credits start, you'll just be like, huh, what? Like you
There's
know,
35 people in this that you've
Yeah.
seen before.
it's like and
Recognized by
it's
name.
not. It's not like they just like brought out their usual stable of people. Like they I mean, there are some people.
Except Tim Blake Nelson. Yeah.
Tim Blake Nelson is in the first part. He is Buster Scruggs. Stephen Root shows up. I mean, so there are some Coen people that show up in the background, but it's like in the opening credits. Like I think first build is Tyne Daly. But it's, let's see, James Franco's in it. Liam Neeson's in it.
Saul Rubinek.
Saul Rubinek's in it. Tom Waits is in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even other people that got dropped in the beginning were like Clancy Brown. I mean,
Clancy Brown,
yeah, it's like, you know, so it's just like, all right, where is this going? But it's interesting. Like I guess the greatest compliment I can pay a Coen Brothers movie is possibly without. I know some people are trying to take the DC movie approach with Hail Caesar, and they are looking for deeper meaning there. If you find it great, I'm happy for you. But Hail Caesar is like the only one I think I can say I've seen that they've ever made where at least I didn't like for at least a day straight ponder its meaning. Mm-hmm. And I'm about 24 hours removed from having seen this, and I'm still kind of pondering my thoughts on it, especially with the vignette nature of it. It's a lot to take in because it's you feel like you've just watched how many mini movies that are very different in tone. Because the first one is like straight up farcical, bright color Coen brother, like almost like Big Lebowski-esque with a pinch of Oh Brother mixed in.
Yep.
So like in the very first, you're like, wow, okay, I don't know where this is going, but I fucking love it. And then the second one is like a little bit more. It's still kind of farcical, but it's getting darker. And like as the movie goes on, they start getting darker and darker and darker until they're like in full on like Barton Fink territory by the end.
Yeah.
So it's weird because it just feels like it goes through this whole path of Coen Brothers movies with all of their different types of things in one. I would actually say there's even a little bit of Hail Caesar thrown in the first one. I mean, it's crazy, it's bombastic, it's loud, and it's
A little bit of fourth wall.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So
I really liked that first one,
Yeah.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I thought that was excellent.
yeah, I liked the James Franco one a lot, except
yeah.
I thought it was really short, especially when you watch some of the other ones. Like that James Franco one could have gone on for another 10 minutes, and I would have been fine with it.
Remind me which one the James Franco one was.
I think it's the second one.
Yeah, but what?
It's the one that stars
Bank
James
robbering.
Franco.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Yeah. That one, it could have gone on longer, but I think they did
I think it was
just
all right.
fine to cut
Yeah.
it off where it was.
I mean, some of the other ones, it's like I felt like this is the one you wanted to devote a whole lot of time to. It just felt kind of weird. But anyway, I mean, I don't want to go blow by blow of what each one's about, but I will say like
The very last one is the one with Tyne Daly, right?
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite,
okay,
which is weird because when it started, after up until that one, the first one, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, that one was my favorite. But the last one, I think, once it ended, was my favorite. Just because it was some really fun character work, and as dark as it was still pretty light.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I think there's already several BuzzFeed style articles of what your favorite vignette is determines this about your person. So I'm hesitant to say, but I think besides the opening one, which like I said, I really liked how bright and loud and colorful that was. I would actually say probably the Tom Waits one was my favorite. It's brutal, I don't know. It's just like, but also kind of strangely happy, and I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just something about it. It's weird. I don't know. It's definitely worth a watch. It's on Netflix, so obviously you can see it easily. But I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts? Because I can transition into my next one. If you...
I don't think I really have anything else to add other than I think you should watch it. I think it's definitely worth your 2 hours and whatever.
Yeah,
minutes.
it's also the longest Coen Brothers movie they've ever made.
Yeah,
it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it feels like it because I mean it's a trek.
Yeah, you could probably, if you don't have time to watch it all at once, you could chop it up and watch it.
You could easily. Some of them are real fucking dark and grim and bleak and hard to get through. I will say that. There's a couple of them where it's just like the Liam Neeson one especially is like, oh god, like I don't know, like it was weird.
Oh yeah, that one is fucking dark.
Yeah, I just mean like there are ones that's like it some of them feel like a love letter to the Old West or something, and some of them it's just like fuck everything about this area and this time, and the bleakness of it,
Yeah. So I think it's the one before that, which is the one with the wagon trains, and that
one's bleak too. It's good. Like I really enjoy that one, but
that one.
Yeah.
I don't want to say much about it, but it's really good.
That one's damn good too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to upgrade to. It's really good. The whole thing is really good
Yeah.
because I'm remembering what happened during these because
it's definitely a thing you should witness. I mean, it is. I think a much more enjoyable example of a Coen Brothers movie than Hail Caesar. So,
okay, I haven't seen Hail Caesar yet. So
it just, I mean, there's some dark shit in it too.
Yeah,
which is weird because like that first one is just so like bubbly and crazy and fun.
There's some dark shit in that too.
I mean, kind of, yes, but I mean, like it's all like anything violent in that is almost played for laughs. Whereas, like, I mean, like to the point that like some of the most brutal stuff is in that one and it's hilarious. Whereas like other brutal shit would be later and it's like, oh god damn. But yeah, but no, it was the kind of movie that when it was over, I sat for like 5 minutes, thought about it, and was like, well, it's like 10:30 at night. I need to watch another movie. I need like almost a palate cleanser, just like, I can't obsess about this all night kind of movie. So I was like, I need something light and breezy. So I will just drop what it is, and then I will talk about how increasingly shocked by everything when I started the movie. I watched The House with a Clock in Its Walls.
Right.
Jack Black, Kate Blanchett thing.
Right, the Jack Black, not Goosebumps movie.
Right. I, other than having seen a brief trailer before something I saw in the theater, I was like, that looks kind of cute, and I would watch this. I still haven't seen Goosebumps, which apparently I have. Apparently that's supposed to actually be good. I will just quickly say I liked it. It's fine as a. It's weird because I almost say like kids movie, but not kind of at the same time. But the strangest things about it, like A, produced by Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
B, starring Jack Black, which I still have. Every time it happens, I'm like, you're turning Jack Black into a kids movie star, the man who sings about fucking gently and rocket sauce, and okay.
Yeah.
And then
His first album cover was with Satan.
yeah. And then it gets a little weirder because I didn't know this at all. Directed by Eli Roth.
Yeah. Yep.
And when that happened, my brain shorted
Yeah.
out for half a second, and I went,
Boy, they downplayed the hell out of that, didn't they?
Yes,
I was
they
like, what?
It's a hard sell to say Eli Roth's kids movie.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't want to sound puritanical or some bullshit, but, like, this is a hard sell as a kids movie to me in a lot of ways because there's nothing particularly gruesome or anything unless you think about it. Like there's just some really dark tones in this movie for a straight up kids movie. Like it's occultish, which I know will throw a whole group of people in a tizzy. So there's all kinds of like warlock witch shit things happening, and like the words necromancy are used, and
Oh no.
necromancy is practiced, and blood magic, and like I'm just saying, like I'm not saying it's like unwatchable for kids because I mean I think kids need to nut the fuck up and like watch some movies because I mean I just feel like we foam covered too much for too long for kids. It's like
Hey, kids.
no, I'm saying like
Nut
Yeah,
the fuck
kids
up.
need a new Monster Squad
yeah,
type
I
shit.
mean, I grew up like I saw Alien and shit like when I was probably too young, and you know what? Movies don't fucking scare me anymore. Like like I'm scared of fucking Republicans. So and I mean it's just
Why? They're not the ones coming for your guns.
but but it's just it's like it's weird to see this movie dropped in this time frame, and I mean maybe in some sort of strange way like Spielberg and Eli Roth got together and was like, you know what, kids need fucking like harder shit than what we're giving them now. Like we need to stop giving them fucking Hotel Transylvania bullshit. We need to give them the real fucking movie.
And cocaine.
I don't know if this is like a great fucking movie or it's like going to change everything. It's just it's serviceable. It's fine.
I think there have always been not R-rated spooky movies for
Sure.
Critters and the Gremlins. Gremlins is fucked up.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I'm
Yeah.
saying everything you just named is 30 years old or
Yeah.
more now.
yeah, I know.
I mean, everything now is fucking sanitized for
Sure,
kids, and
sure.
I mean, I'm saying like if that was their secret, dark, mischievous plan, I'm in favor of it. Like let's give some kids some harder stuff so that they're not just walking around like, oh my god, I'm scared of this. I'm like, fuck off. Stop
Yeah,
being
there's some
scared.
fucking
Yeah.
necromancy.
Yeah.
Some real horror in the world, kid.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cute. The kid is not. He's not the best kid actor, and I feel like we have seen better kid actors now. Like I mean, speaking of Monster Squad, like just I don't care if he directs or writes the movie or anything. Just call Shane Black in and like when you're casting kids. That's all I'm asking. Just, like
Let him cast the
yeah.
kids.
I'm just saying like that dude knows how to cast a kid who's going to give you a hell of a performance. This kid was like he was all right, but occasionally it was like I'm child acting. I was like. Yeah,
Back it down.
but I do like that it's there's an added kind of cool bonus because it takes place in like 1955, so you kind of got this like almost Sandlot feel to it in certain times.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like when the kids are interacting and stuff, and I don't know. I just it kind of helps having that like time period vibe thing, and yeah, Kate Blanchett's really good in it. Jack Black's I don't know. I kind of like what he's doing. Like he's being that super boisterous but like overly friendly Jack Black throughout most of it. I don't know. It works well. And it's not going to be that it's I think even if you have problems with Jack Black, I think he's not going to bother you in this movie. I just know some people are like, he's too much.
Well, I mean,
He's like people that don't like Jim Carrey. Like, it's just too much of a personality.
yeah, but I just I think like recently like this and Goosebumps and Jumanji, it's just like this is Jack Black now. We're not going to get Saving Silverman Jack Black. We're not going to get Rocket Sauce Jack Black unless you watch webisodes.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he goes where the money is.
Sure.
Good, whatever. If someone wants to pay him to, if Eli Roth and Steven Spielberg want to team up and
well,
put Jack Black in a movie.
I mean, I think I could safely say this might be the best Eli Roth movie I've ever seen. I'm trying. I was sitting there thinking about his filmography, trying to talk myself out of that. But
His filmography is mostly not anything that you
I mean, Knock Knock is okay, but it's like it's a mostly forgettable movie. Other than like one of the two girls is in this playing the kid's mom, which is weird and distracting.
Yeah.
Anyway, which is funny because I earlier in the night before I started this up, I recently got Blade Runner 2049 on 4K disc, and I decided to watch the prequel episodes or whatever the hell they were that I
Yeah.
never saw. And I was just like, oh yeah, Anna Darmus is the other girl from Knock Knock, and it was like a weird like this shit all kind of came together in a weird sort of way evening.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's all. Chuck?
Let me tie a movie to the first half.
Okay.
You talked about the budget of Altitude, which was $5 million. And previously we talked about the budget of another movie that was $5 million.
Yes.
Upgrade.
Upgrade.
It is night and day what you can do with $5 million between these two films.
You mean make a good one versus make a not good one?
Yeah, Upgrade is fucking amazing. The other side of this table needs to watch Upgrade before we do Golden Jocks.
I will watch Upgrade. Don't worry.
Okay, that is the
What
that
is Upgrade?
is
Is it a spooky movie?
no,
No.
It's a near future crime thriller.
I've sold everybody on this. It is Cyberpunk John Wick.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I feel like that's all I should have to say about it, and people
Yes.
will be like, "Well, like fucking
All right.
Scooby Doo tracks
Yeah.
out of the room."
like
Well, I'm busy.
I remembered us talking about the budget when you talked about it on the show a few weeks ago. But thankfully, I'm able to tune out when there's a movie I'm super interested in. I just go to my happy place and don't, because like when I rented it, I'd forgotten that you'd talked about it, and when it was playing out, I was just like, I literally know nothing about this, and that is the best way to watch this movie because, man, does it go places. And if you don't know anything about it, it's fun. Holy shit, this movie's fun. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's one of those movies when it's over, you just go, holy shit, I love movies, you know? And there's one or two of those a year if you're lucky, where you just walk away from it and go, my God, I might have been down on movies there for a little while, but nope, some people still know how to make them, and this is one of them. Yeah, I Upgrade. You should watch Upgrade. So that's what I'm gonna say about Upgrade. It's real good. And,
I'll watch it.
And man, you should be fucking slapped around if you're given $5 million and you make fucking Altitude when they had $5 million and made Upgrade.
You should be hit with a newspaper.
Yes, a wet fish just across your mug. So I'm going to quickly talk about two documentaries that I watched.
Come on,
Oh,
feel
boy.
Chuck's noise
All
about
right.
documentaries.
Which 80s rock band?
Nope. No rockin'. Although they are both 80s technology. Okay, first of all, I just want to say Amazon is real bad about dates on their movies.
Mm-hmm.
They will slap a 2018 on something that came out 3 years earlier, and that was kind of the case with these two things. I thought they were
Yeah.
2018 documentaries, and they weren't.
Nope.
So the first one's called VHS Lives, which is yet another goddamn VHS collector's movie.
Why?
Yet another. This is the third in the
Why?
last 2 years that I can think of. And it is just as douchey as you think it is. I get it. I collect some weird dumb shit for no reason whatsoever, just because my brain goes, I need that. That looks cool. And there are people in this who are like, look at this art. Look how big the case is. Isn't that cool? And I'm like, yes, you have a point. That is cool. But then that person will say, fuck Blu-ray. I will never own a Blu-ray copy of this movie. And I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yep.
There is something actually wrong with you.
Strangely, I was having this conversation with some people today.
Okay.
Collecting or preferring VHS is like saying, I only listen to audio on cassette. It's like in the history of, in the current history of it's still together in one format. That is the worst thing you could possibly listen to. It is the most inferior mass marketed product of the last 50 years.
Yeah.
What
Sound
about
quality.
Edison Cylinder? Oh, 50
Well, I'm
years,
saying,
never mind.
yes, Edison cylinders sound like ass too, but nobody's rocking, the fucking Eagles on Edison cylinder.
You know there's some hipster fuck out there that's listening to the Eagles on fucking Edison Cylinder. Makes his own wax cylinders and ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I get going back to albums because it's analog, and I get that argument.
Yep.
I'm partially in favor of that, of the warmer tones, but even 8-tracks had their benefit. They actually had good sound. They could break real easily, and you had to flip halfway through or whatever.
Yes.
But they had 8 tracks, which meant you could do crazy good sound. But cassettes were fucking terrible. They always were.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with VHS. It was never Beta was better. I mean, it
And the
wasn't as
thing is,
compressed.
VHS, it's all pan and scan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that's what bothers me.
Yes.
Is once DVD came out and it's no, if your movie was widescreen, we have it in the correct ratio. I was like, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I mean, I was buying widescreen VHS tapes before
Yes.
DVD came out.
Yes.
Yep. I had Pulp Fiction, Professional, several.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are arguments that they make from a collecting standpoint that make sense to me. It's like
Only on that format.
VHS is the only format and ever since VHS, the movie collection has been funneled down because there's so much stuff that's never going to come out because it's either lost to time or rights issues or whatever. So you want to collect rare stuff on VHS that's never going to show up anywhere else? Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks, cocaine.
Yeah. The VHS art was often the movie poster art or some creative thing to get you to pick it up and rent it. And now it's just big fucking heads on a DVD cover, and that's not as interesting. I get that too. But when you move out of that argument into, and this is the only way I will ever watch movies, no.
Yeah.
That you are not a fan of movies. You are a fan of a format, and that's weird.
Yeah.
And I've said, like, there have been times when I have reviewed certain horror movies where I have said, you know what, this movie is too clear. There's something about this movie on Blu-ray that doesn't sit right with me, and it needs kind of a grungy VHS transfer. I've said that a couple of times, not often. Like, I would never say, you really need to watch The Thing on VHS.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You need that movie to look as good as it can possibly look.
I mean, I don't know that you've ever copped to it when you're doing your 31 reviews, or 31 and 31 reviews. But to me, I think that argument of like, well, it needs to look shitty like VHS is that's the rose-colored glasses. Like, I remember this being good, and now that I'm seeing it in its proper format, this movie actually kind of sucks.
There have been plenty of
I know.
examples of that.
Well,
and
sure.
again, some people in this documentary make that case of just like, it's too clear and you can see the effects and it's like, it's not as good. I get that. But the extreme hipster nature of some of these people is just so infuriating.
Also, well, I mean, be it DVD, or at least DVD, if not Blu-ray, or better, if you don't like the art, you know what? That you can get a printer and make your own insert,
you can.
and there you go.
Yeah.
And you can buy a big version of the poster for your wall, you know,
true.
so...
Yeah. But, I mean, this documentary is also like 2.5 hours. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, guy.
Oh, so it was on, like, EP.
Yes. Yeah. So...
Wouldn't fit on SP.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's...
Actually, LP was the middle. That was
Yep.
4.
That's right. Just couldn't rewind or fast forward that because you would just see lines and it wouldn't make any sense. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys can stop making these now. We get it. Like,
People like VHS.
yeah, we get it. You want to collect these things. They're increasingly harder to find, and you have fondness for video stores. I do too. But
Why don't you go wear, like, hammer pants and goldfish platforms? How about everything that was just terrible all along? Why don't you get into those? Like, that were never good when they were brand new.
I would like to see documentaries about those things.
Like the things that people
Hammer
look like
pants.
hammer
The hammer-
pants and
hammer
like,
con.
and like the platform shoes with goldfish in them and
Yes.
shit. Like, why don't we just have like all the things that were terrible from the get go?
Yep. So the other documentary I watched, and I think one of you talked about this previously. I might be wrong, but Nintendo Quest.
Oh, I saw that. That's where the guy's trying to get all the cartridges. Yeah.
Yeah. That movie's bullshit.
How so?
Okay, so it's about two childhood friends who've been friends for 30 years, and one challenges the other to, you've got 30 days, you've got to collect every North American Nintendo release for the NES. You have money, but we're never going to tell the audience how much money.
All the fucking money is the answer to that.
Yes. Also, you can't buy them online, so it's going to be a road trip. Let's go. And
Why
that's
does he have 30 days?
because that's the only way to make a movie.
They
you
just
couldn't
set up
just
things.
yeah. So there's arbitrary. There is no actual.
Like his family won't die?
No, there's no
Or-
one's kidnapped. There's no there's nothing like that.
He doesn't have a terminal illness. Or...
None of those things. It's just, hey, I challenge you to do this. Let's make a movie. Now you're thinking,
I'm already bored.
well, the premise, I like the premise a lot because it sounds like, okay, two lifelong friends are going to take a road trip all across the country. They're from Canada and they come into the United States and they're going to travel the country and, barter and buy and go to swap meets and everything. And they're going to have stories and it's going to be weird, eccentric characters and they're going to be jokey with each other. And there's your movie. And I think that's probably what they thought. That's not what this movie is. It's weird, arbitrary rules of like, they come up with rules like, okay, so you can't buy anything online. You got to go to physical stores and buy them. It's like, okay, that's fine. The production crew can't help. They can't give this guy any help whatsoever, and he can't rely on his friends. The first 3 places they go are to his friend's house where he buys portions of their collections. Just dudes in his neighborhood. It's fucking bullshit.
Eh,
Also,
I already hate it now. I was
there's
bored
like
and I hate it.
there's like 680 Nintendo North American releases. He should have had the first 600 like in one fell swoop. Like the first store he went to, there should just be a wall of bullshit, and he just says, "I need all these," and that would have been it. But he does this weird thing where he just goes into a store and buys like 4 games. He's just like, I wasn't feeling it, and then goes to the next store, and it's like, this is fucking dumb. This doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. There are no stories on the road. These two don't have anything to talk about. The only time they ever have a conversation in the car is when he's just pulling games out of his bag, like, bought this one, and then graphics flash up on the screen and tell you what he bought. It's bullshit. It's just this dumb,
So
arbitrary
it's
nonsense.
An arbitrary documentary about 2 boring people.
Yeah. It's like, look, I've known you guys 8-9 years now. We get in a car, and holy shit, it is on. We come up with things, and then we joke about those things for fucking ever.
Pretty
That's
much,
all
yes.
our friendship is based on these days, is like the warm cocoon of millions and millions of inside jokes.
Yeah.
We have like in-house memes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, artisanal memes.
There's one right there.
They bespoke by us.
Yes.
Oh.
These two
great.
guys have none of that. And I feel bad for like this main dude, the dude who's the focus of this, because he is anxiety ridden to shit. And like he like in the first store he goes to, he like turns to the producer and is like, I can't barter. I don't know how to do it. And you're like, oh shit, that's going to be a wrinkle. And then
Well,
they're
obviously not Canadian then, because that's like their entire economy, I think. It's like
Yeah, you
beaver,
should have been trading beaver first.
beaver pelts and fucking maple syrup.
But then you're like, oh, wow, this is going to be fascinating. This guy with anxiety is going to try to barter with strangers. That's going to be fun. They never show any of it. They just cut to outside, and he comes out and is like, well, that guy was a dick.
I'm starting to remember this now more. Like I think I was confusing this because I think I watched some other like collectible type movie around the same time, because that movie's like 5-6 years old.
It came out in 2015.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe not that old, but yeah. But
It came out around the same time that one of the dig,
maybe, I don't know. There was just several like times things
Sure.
about that era, but like I think I just remember like what sustained me was just talking about the rarity of certain cartridges was
Yeah.
interesting, and then going to some of these collectors' houses and just, I don't know, just as a person who likes to collect things but doesn't really have I have some financial means, as you can see the Blu-ray collection behind BJ there. But I mean, going to some of these people and it's just like a fucking museum
Yeah.
to a thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, that's fascinating to me.
It is kind of cool. I never for a second believed any of his larger scores. Like when he would get something from a big collector, I never for once felt like money changed hands. And there were certain times where I was pretty positive that they exchanged like, we will wear your sweatshirt in our movie if you give us a 90% discount on these games. I just feel like there was a lot of that bullshit going on.
Sure.
And when you set this arbitrary, like, he has money, but we don't know how much money he has, so
Yeah.
It's-
Like if they said you have 30 days, this is your budget, go.
yeah.
And I mean, first off, like, I guess the only thing I can kind of is it feels like it's one of the last things where like, because now, even now, I mean, at that time you're like, well, fuck, just do this shit online. Like everyone has this mentality now of like, why on earth would we do this?
Well, there's there's one cartridge, like the rare cartridge that it becomes like the holy
Stadium games.
yes,
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
which becomes like the holy grail of this thing, and it's again kind of a cheat because they know of a guy on the boards who has one listed on eBay, but maybe he'll sell it not on eBay, so therefore those rules don't apply. Yeah, it's bullshit. And then it's just like this constant drama with this dude, because the dude lives in Florida, and he's like, come down here to Florida, I want to be in the movie, and they're like, we're not driving to Florida. And it's just this weird manufactured drama about that.
Yeah, because he didn't even like get that, like, because he
He
failed.
didn't
He
get that
failed
one.
the quest.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
like-
he
like-
fucking fails.
Yeah, like I think like they got that one like a year later. It was like following up,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah, 9 months later, they're like, oh, let's give
Yeah,
this
this-
movie a happy ending.
Yeah, stadium,
Yes.
stadium games, little baby.
It's such bullshit. The other thing that's kind of unfortunate about it is that they interview a bunch of dudes in this who, since this movie came out, have all been proven to be piece of shit fraudsters. Like Billy Mitchell
Oh,
and
no.
those dudes. You know, there's another one of those video game guys who actually flies in and hangs out with them for a day hunting bargains, and he like made up all his shit, like all his records, and he also got tossed out of the Walter Day thing.
Oh man.
So
Galaxies.
yeah, so yeah, it's just also just Billy Mitchell talking about the Nintendo when you know he doesn't give a shit about Nintendo. Just fuck off, Billy Mitchell.
Yep.
So
So what you're saying is video games were a mistake.
Yes. The internet was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was all a mistake.
yeah.
Billy Mitchell was a mistake. Fuck you, Billy Mitchell. We believed in you. No, we didn't.
This just could have been so good. It could have been so good. Like, dude has issues. Like he had dad issues. His dad was a piece of shit, and you know he keeps mentioning all these things that are causing him anxiety. And you're like, well, this will be a journey, and two friends will work this stuff out and talk about it. No,
Absolutely not.
nothing of the sort. He just tries to do a thing, fucking fails at the thing, and then they filmed a coda of him 9 months later doing the thing, and it's just like, it's hot bullshit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So, oh well, that's what I got.
All right.
BJ, you got another movie?
I do. I saw the Wonder Woman movie. The movie about
Oh, yeah.
Gal Gadot kicking
yeah.
the shit out of proto-Nazis.
Yeah.
I thought you saw this.
I had not. I had Gal Gadot seen Wonder Woman.
Wow. No, I'm just.
I know everybody saw it.
No. I
and-
just thought I very distinctly thought I remembered you being one of the larger champions of that amongst us. Like we were all like, "That's pretty good," and you were like, "No, this is the best." I
think that was
was
me.
you.
I think
Okay,
it
that
was
was
Chuck,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you're
So what'd you think,
similar
BJ?
height.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It definitely wasn't him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel movies have spoiled superhero movies for me because
by being good.
by being good. Yeah, they're all good. And they're good bordering on great. Some of them are really good. This is just okay. And it's not like, okay, it feels like Captain America, the first soldier or whatever the first one was.
Avenger.
The first Avenger, yeah. It feels like they basically ripped it off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I like Gal Gadot. I think she has a lot of personality. When she smiles, like it seems like the world is a better place. Like that's the kind of charisma I feel like she has. But it's the effects are kind of cheesy in the wrong ways for me. Like the fights don't feel like good fights like they do in the Marvel movies. The movement and action just isn't what it doesn't live up to the bar that I hold my action movies to these days.
Well,
And-
DC movies go straight to the CGI zone.
Oh yeah, immediately. Like they die in the CGI zone. It
Yeah.
seems.
Well, speaking of zones, I mean, the only thing that I think the most memorable thing is the no man's zone or whatever it is.
No Man's Land.
No man's land.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
pretty
I mean,
good.
I'm just saying, like that fucking moment of like,
Yep.
that's pretty fucking rad.
The moment and like the emotion of it. I think it's a good story beat.
Mhm.
It was probably it's probably the best shot portion of the movie, but that's not saying a whole lot. Like that still is just doesn't really compare to most of the Marvel movies, with the exception of like Thor: The Dark World, which it's Wonder Woman is probably better than Thor: The Dark World. I enjoyed it more than that.
I will give you that.
But it just, man, and maybe I've fallen victim to the hype. Like, you know, there were a bunch of people who were really high on Wonder Woman, and so I had expectations of it. But I don't know, it's just all right. The story is good. Like the story of whatever story they ripped from whatever comic book universe, 278,000 or whatever, is a good story. I like it.
Whatever S&M fantasy.
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
right. It's just as a movie, it didn't work 100% for me. So pretty good. I mean, I'd probably give it maybe 3 stars out of 5, maybe 2 3/4 stars. Somewhere above average, but not, not great. Again, I like Gal Gadot, and Chris Pine is in too many movies.
No.
Is he though? I mean,
No.
he's really
it
not.
Seems like it.
It seems what,
but it's only because there's only 6 movies a year.
I guess so. I don't know. It felt weird for him to be part of yet another cinematic universe.
He does seem to get a lot of like, man, people are really big on Chris Pine, but it's like, why?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's good. Don't get me wrong, but
I'm just thinking, like, I mean, I've probably seen him in less than 5 movies in 10 years. I mean, I don't. Why you think it's like?
I don't know. Maybe it's just because, like, he's the dude in Star Trek, and he's one of the Chris's. So maybe they're all getting mixed up in my head. But
I was to say,
I don't know.
3 of the new Star Trek movies, Hell or High Water, and Wonder Woman. Like that's it. Like I can't think of anything else I've ever seen.
The
He was
train
in
movie?
Unstoppable.
Oh, sorry.
maybe it's just a thing
my
in
memory,
my own head.
My
like,
memory is failing me, like the size of a Chrysler Building.
Yeah. Maybe it's just that he's too recognizable
All right.
for me to be that to play that role.
Okay. I mean, I know going back, like he was in one of those fucking Pulp Fiction-y style movies was.
Uh-huh.
The fuck? Which one was he in? It was like he was one of the crazy skinhead dudes. Like it was long before Star Trek. I can't think of
American Psycho.
Smoking Aces?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
One of those. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
when they were still trying to do the Pulp Fiction-y, like, slash. God damn it, my brain is broken. Guy Ritchie thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was Jack Ryan also. It's another big franchise.
One time.
He was handed the keys to.
Yeah,
But
hey,
yeah.
he was in Wrinkle in Time.
Uh-huh.
That huge hit from earlier this year.
Yep. Into the Woods, where he was the prince.
Oh God, that piece of shit. Why'd you have to remind me
Isn't
that
he also
fucking
the king
exists?
in that new Netflix Robin Hood
Yes.
movie or whatever, where he's got the Burger King hat on?
That Robin Hood movie that everybody
Yeah.
says is trash.
No, he's not in that Robin Hood
Oh,
movie.
a
Outlaw
different
King.
a different new Robin Hood.
Oh, he's in
movie.
the
Okay.
King Arthur one. Okay,
No.
different thing.
No, this is like Braveheart, Outlaw King.
What?
Scottish.
I can't keep track of all these Robin Hoods.
He's just a burger.
He's
Oh,
he's Robert the Bruce.
Oh, it's Robin McHood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, he's naked in it.
So you see Chris's Pine?
You do.
Sweet.
Is it Evergreen?
Anyway, Wonder Woman, 2.75 stars.
Way to commit.
I don't know. What do you want me to? You want me to give it like a school grade, like a
Richard
70?
Lewis over there.
What do you want? What do you want out of me?
Well, it's
Yeah.
3 stars, but 70% of that is.
Yeah, I really like that movie. I just wish it didn't shit the bed completely in the last like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the nighttime scrapyard CG fight is just.
It's just, man, that is just a bed shitter and
Yeah.
a half.
I mean, I like the reveal. I like who the villain is revealed to be, but it's just
Eh.
like, man, after that, it's just big CG
God, it's
bullshit.
just like really good sex, but then she just shits everywhere all of a sudden. You're like, oh,
why'd you do that?
it was going so well.
That's a strange metaphor. That sounds like weird personal experience.
Well,
Never know what happens in a Mellomotion parking lot.
Or Burger King bathroom.
There will be shit everywhere in a Burger King bathroom.
that's true. Yes.
Especially where we live.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Yeah.
so movies.
Yeah.
I'm glad
covers
everybody
them all.
got to watch some movies.
Yeah.
You'll get to watch a
we
movie
watched
one
some
day.
for you.
I appreciate you just all picking up the slack for me.
No, we're not using Slack anymore.
No, I noticed.
Do we have anything else? We have any correspondence?
Oh, actually, yeah, we had a movie recommendation.
Oh. Well.
Gosh dang it, I forgot all about that.
Is it Upgrade?
Gee golly.
No. Then it's shit.
Fuck that recommendation.
Yeah.
Kinda.
All right, this is David from Nebraska. Says, recommendation. Hello, BMFcasters.
Hello.
Hello.
It's been a while since I've emailed. Life
Been a
gets
while.
busy, and I've just now started to listen to the episodes I've missed, a few months worth.
Oh God.
You need to catch up, David. What I've heard has been awesome so far. I wanted to recommend a film. Hopefully you haven't talked about it, but if you have, my bad. It's called The Night Comes for Us. It's a Netflix original film. It stars the main actors from The Raid and it's shot similarly. It's, for my money, the bloodiest martial arts film I've ever seen, and is extremely violent. Definitely one of my top movies of the year. It's not really an episode, but it could definitely be a Golden Shots contender, in my opinion. It's about a man who works for the Triad trying to leave the business. His best friend and many thugs are sent to take him and his other friends down.
Was that M-A-N-Y or M-I-N-I thugs?
What?
Lots of thugs or tiny thugs?
No, many. Many as in M-A-N-Y.
Numerous thugs.
as-
Numerous thugs. Okay.
A plethora of thugs are sent to take him and his other friends down. Brutal and over-the-top action. As always, keep up the amazing work. Crash and Burn, David from Nebraska.
Is there a blog I could subscribe to that will tell me what comes out on Netflix?
Nope.
Because that is my jam right there, and I've never fucking heard of this.
Yep.
Actually-
I had heard of it because people were talking about how basically the guy who made The Raid is making some good shit still, but it's for
I
like
believe-
Netflix.
Isn't there a Twitter
it's not
account?
It's not the same director. That's
Okay, oh, it's the same actors,
Same
but he
actors.
made something else for Netflix that's actually really
Who,
good too.
Gareth Edwards?
Yes.
Did he?
I believe it's a TV series or something. I don't know. Like,
Or Evans, not Edwards.
Chuck, there's a Twitter account called New on Netflix. Follow it.
Okay.
yeah, but then you have to use Twitter.
Chuck uses Twitter.
I do. I use Twitter.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah, he made a movie called Apostle.
Okay.
It's got Dan Stevens in it.
Is that also a Netflix movie?
Yes. Came out October 12th.
Told you.
This came out October 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no,
no.
I had heard very good things about this movie.
No, I saw
prior to him writing in.
Yeah, I saw a thing like it was talking about. It's where I first heard about Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which I didn't hear about until about 2 weeks before it came out. I mean, it was just like, hey, Netflix is getting like the newest Coen Brothers, Gareth Evans. It was like,
Yeah,
I was
Alfonso
like-
Cuarón's comes
Yeah.
out December 14th,
it's like,
I believe.
yeah, they were just talking about, hey, yeah, Netflix is like now going after big directors to get their next movie. It's like, okay,
I'm kind of for that because like the Cuarón movie sounds like it's about like it's a black and white movie about his childhood growing up in Mexico City. And I'm like, all right, that sounds interesting to me, especially if it's someone like him making it.
what is he? Did he do E2 Mama Tommy Yen? Is that him or is that somebody else?
No, he did that.
That's his. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the new Scorsese movie is a Netflix movie, and that's the only thing I feel like I've heard about way into production, because it is it is like Goodfellas, Casino. This movie, this is like
Yeah.
the third, and this is like De Niro, Pacino, Joe Pesci. All the people are in this, and it's a fucking Netflix Scorsese movie, and I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do this.
Ray Liotta.
No, I know, but
Yeah, it feels like Netflix is letting them make the movies that the studios probably wouldn't anymore.
yes,
And I think that's the key thing. It kind of sucks that it's like, all right, I don't know when it's coming out. It has no hype. It's just like, all right, oh yeah, Scorsese's got a movie. It's out next week. It's like, wait, what? Excuse me?
yeah,
But studios just don't pay people to make those movies anymore. Or they'd be like, if you can make it under $3 million, let's do it. And they're like, no, I have De Niro. He's like $3 million on his own.
yeah.
We're buds, but he's not going to do me any favors like that. You still got to pay him.
I'm appreciating what Netflix is doing in terms of, like you said, they are making the things that can't come out to theaters anymore because there's no space for it. Because they would have to take the Avengers out of its 6 screens, and
I'm just hearing like a rumbling. Is that you touching the thing?
Oh,
Is
I
it
don't know. It
picking
might
up?
have been.
I was like, is it thundering? And then I saw you touching the spring.
Yeah.
Sorry.
no, it's okay. But like that movie I talked about a couple weeks ago, Anon, which is just this kind of cool near future sci-fi thing. That would have totally been like a movie that came out in the 80s, like one of the 3 movies that came out on a Friday, and it would have played for 3 or 4 weeks and then would have been a big hit on video for a while and people would have known about it. But now it's just like Netflix just shits these things out, and they expect you to live on the Netflix page, like just constantly,
Even
just
if
like
you're not, though, it's like you can miss this stuff.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. They shit
Yeah,
out
it's
so
not
much
your
stuff.
recommendations.
Yeah, like there's a Sam Elliott sitcom on Netflix that's in like season 6, season fucking 6. I would totally watch a Sam Elliott sitcom, but when did that start? I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one that also has Ashton Kutcher? So
Yeah, I know. I know 6 on one hand, but still, I would at least sample a Sam Elliott sitcom.
all right.
Now that there's 6 goddamn seasons of
Well,
it.
it's periodic. It's weird to me, like the ones that they're like this is the one we're going to talk about and super hype. Like, they did their whole weird thing with Annihilation, where it was like, yeah, if you liked Ex Machina, we got the next movie from him, and it's a Netflix. Oh, but it's going to theaters first.
Yeah.
And we're not getting on Netflix in America until, like, 3 months later when everyone will have forgot about it.
Yeah, it's like the
Like
Hitman's
me.
Bodyguard.
Yeah.
It's like the Hitman's Bodyguard.
Right. Yeah, it's like they made a big fucking, like, yeah, this movie, holy shit, and then it was like it waited just long enough to pop up on Netflix here that it was like everyone kind of forgot about it, and a lot of people did forgot to see it. Or the Cloverfield thing. It was like, yeah, available right after Super Bowl, fucking do it.
That was
it's
cool.
like, so I'm saying, like, they'll hype the shit out of a thing, and everybody knows about it, and then everybody shits on it, and it's like, okay. I think that's why they're going with this, like, because I think Ballad of Buster Scruggs is a thing that would have been divisive. If they'd been like, Coen Brothers, you know them, they fucking did Fargo and Big Lebowski and all this shit, people will go watch that movie expecting the Big Lebowski and be like, fuck this.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, I think in some ways they're letting filmmakers do what they want to do, and, you know, if they just let them fly under the radar, it's like, yeah, they'll get some people watching it, but if you make a big deal about it, it's just like, because a lot of people, when Annihilation got popular here, it was like, fuck is this movie? You know, it's like, not for you.
I think they're expecting people to proselytize. Like, they're expecting the people who pay close attention to Netflix to go, oh, this is coming out. Cool. I'm going to watch it. And then spread word of mouth, and then everybody signs up for a Netflix account.
Yeah, they've taken our theory of like Star Wars and gone too far with it, where we're like, you don't have to advertise Star Wars.
Yeah.
You don't.
Right.
You just have to be like, hey, guess what? December 19th, new Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to do. And you don't have to run fucking commercial after commercial and, you know, tie in the lettuce, you know, official Yoda lettuce at the supermarket, all this shit.
You go like you again.
Yeah. Like, you don't need all that shit. All you need to do is be like, hey, December 19th, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Done. And that's all they really should have done, is been like, hey, new fucking Coen Brothers, October 20th. You know, like,
Yeah, I've seen people,
but they don't even do that. They're just like, all right, we're gonna let the Ringer write articles about it,
Right.
And then people will find it through that. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
like I've seen people this week like, when are we going to get an Avengers 4 trailer? It's like, you're fucking seeing the Avengers 4.
Yeah.
You don't need to see a trailer. But I need to see Netflix trailers. They need to be somewhere.
yeah,
You know, and there's this weird. I see this all the time when people are watching them, because like when I went to just see what people thought about Anon, there's 400 reviews of it on Letterboxd, but they all pretty much said the same thing. Like, I'm not paying you for this shit, Netflix. You know, don't use my $7 to fund this shit. And it's like, they're not. But
I also wonder, like, when does Netflix run out of money to do this?
Oh, they're like $20 billion in debt.
They-
So
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, what happens when that bubble finally bursts?
I don't know.
Because, like, I'd say it, but, like, everyone I know shares Netflix accounts. It's not like, all right, everyone's got their own Netflix, so they're getting their $10 out of everybody every month. You know, it's like, nah.
Yeah, I don't know what their end game is in terms of like how many more people they think they can get. Like, who else is really going to sign up for it? Like, the only people who are signing up for it now are people that are getting some sort of like, buy a smartphone, get 2 years of Netflix, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like they've reached market saturation
Yeah.
at a certain point.
I mean, no one's turning 18, moving out of their parents' house, getting an apartment, and being like, all right, time to sign up for Netflix. No. They're staying home till they're 26, using their parents' Netflix account. And then after that, it's, you know, we'll all be dead. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, they're still announcing things.
Yes,
Like,
the eventual heat death of the earth.
yes.
Will come before Netflix goes bankrupt.
Yeah.
like today, it was just like, hey, we're doing live action Cowboy Bebop.
Right. Oh,
Whether,
yeah.
whether you want it or not.
And the internet fucking said, we don't. Fuck you.
I mean, that's a strange
that
reaction.
feels really dumb and reactionary. But anime people are dumb and reactionary.
Yeah.
Suck it, weebs. But they
Yeah.
also announced Neon Genesis Evangelion, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Suck it, weebs.
I think it's Evangeline Lily.
Evangeline Lilian.
Yeah.
Evangelion.
Just watch
All
that
of it.
Robin Williams clip over and over, and you'll know how to say it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Robin Williams clip?
Does he say Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Yes,
Why?
he's picking up the toy. I think it's from 1 Hour Photo.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, I
Yeah.
remember it now.
It's
It's a
pretty-
meme.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Tis a Meme.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me happy.
But yeah, man.
But yeah, they're bringing that to Netflix.
All the weebs I know are both ecstatic and pissed for some reason.
Oh man, they're gonna be so pissed at the dub.
I can't wait.
Oh, they're gonna lose their shit over the dub.
I hope it's dubbed by Hicks.
Yeah.
Wait, so they're
No
just
sub.
they're just bringing the thing? Like it's not a live action. They're just bringing that to
Yeah,
Netflix?
just all of it.
Oh,
all
okay.
of all of the.
okay.
Oh man,
Neon
people are going to
Genesis
argue about the
Evangelion.
order.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to
Yeah.
be great. Oh, the dorks are going to be so pissed.
I mean, I'm fine. I love Cowboy Bebop. I'm fine with it. To me, I'm one of those people like. I question the existence or need for the Lion King thing, like because it's like we're gonna do a live action Lion King. It's like,
It's
there's no people in that, right?
That's not live action.
Right?
Literally
There's
none
also
of
the
it.
animated
Like, I mean, that's the only
Lion
one where I kind of like raised my hand and went like, as soon as they announced that, I was like, there's no people in that movie.
I
there are
swear
also no
this-
animals in that.
Is
movie.
this like some stealth step to just get us to accept CG actors as actors
I think
at some
so.
point?
I swear to God, I thought it was going to be Donald Glover wearing like a little hoodie.
I thought it was going to be
That
the
would've been
Broadway
magnificent.
show.
Yes, exactly. That's what
Like,
I thought it was.
I thought okay, they're going to make the Broadway show into
Yeah.
a movie. Okay.
Yeah, that's why when I saw the cast, I was like, okay, I will. This sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And then I see that trailer, and it's just like, this is fucking CG bullshit. This is still animated.
Yeah.
For a year, people
they're
were
all
like,
the s- and
live action Lion King. You fucking liars.
And they're the same shots.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like we already tried this with Psycho,
yeah. It's
and
like,
it didn't work out so well.
what
Like,
if we just
why-
remade it and you like it, and here's the same thing, but now it looks photorealistic? It's for those fucking. We hear about like a dude's roommate every once in a while. I can't watch that. Looks old. No cell phones in it. Dumb.
yeah.
I mean, here's the thing I'll say: if the Cowboy Bebop thing, if it's 10 episodes, if it's news stories, I'll watch it. If it's like we're doing shot for shot remakes, fuck it, I don't care. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have that strong of an opinion about Japanimation in general, but you know, I'm just saying, like, I you know,
That's
like
not the proper
No, I
terminology.
mean like remakes or
It
whatever.
is.
Like, if it's shot for shot, fuck, I don't need it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't need an English-made remake of a thing that's from another country. I can read subtitles now. So every once in a while, they make it better. It doesn't happen often, but I'm not gonna cite examples. But like
That
it-
Dragon Ball movie.
yeah, totally, that was much better than all that other weeb shit.
They need Keanu Reeves as Spike. It's the only thing I'll accept.
Yeah,
The only actor I will accept is
they're
Keanu
not-
Reeves.
They're not getting him. His stock is high right now.
Wasn't there
My
another-
stock is also high for Keanu Reeves.
Wasn't there another like this year announced live action anime?
I know they adapted Death Note, which a lot of
Death
people are
Note they
pissed off
hated.
at.
Yeah.
No,
The
but this
weebs
was
hated it.
like a long running like beloved thing.
They're talking about doing. Well, it's not really truly anime because it's American, but they're talking about doing another live Last Airbender thing live action.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, that's not true. Whatever.
Okay.
I guess anime. That's why they changed to that term because it doesn't denote just from Japan.
Anyway.
Some weeb will correct me. Like, actually, I don't care. I'm just saying. I think that's why we want to.
well, not with that attitude, they won't.
Good.
Don't at me.
I'm just saying. Like, I think that's
At
why
us not
why we went
weeaboos.
away from the term Japanimation because it was all the Japanese cartoons.
Because it was way more fun to say. and
Yes.
Anime's lame.
Yeah.
It sure is. Absolutely.
Full stop.
High five.
Japanimation, awesome. Anime, bullshit.
Balls.
Yes.
Do not at us.
Yeah, don't at me. I don't care. My account's private. You can't at me.
Right.
Delete your account.
I've considered it.
Not you. I like your tweets.
Oh.
I don't.
Yeah.
Delete your account.
I don't either. I hate my tweets. I wish they'd go away.
Well, just delete your account then.
I'm working on it.
How did we?
But, however,
45
if someone
seconds.
wanted to find my account before deleting it, they would go to twitter.com.
They would.
But if they want to find the BMFcast account, where would they go?
Twitter.com/BMFcast.
What about all those other socials?
Well, you can find them all in one place at BMFcast.com. Look on the
I
right-hand
think
side.
you
There's
mean
a whole...
BMFcast.
You've interrupted my flow. I'm going to kill you in your sleep.
Your flow. Like,
Find them all at BMFcast.com. Check the right-hand side for all the buttons.
Yep.
Those will take you out to all of our socials. If you want to get in touch with us directly, it's at BMFcast on most platforms, BMF at BMFcast.com, or 9105-JOCKS-BMF, 910-556-9263 on your telephone.
And lastly, if they want to get extra bonus special content from us for a small fee, where would they go?
Well, they could show us the money at patreon.com/BMFcast. That's where we have all of our bonus content. It's super good. There's a lot of it. You can pay a small fee, get a whole bunch of content, pay a little bit more, a little bit higher fee, get a whole bunch more content, on and on and on and on.
Be our ambassadors of Patreon.
Right.
Yes.
Like he said.
It is the rare instance of both quality and quantity. Both together
Sure.
for the first time.
Sure. I'll take that.
Should.
It's true.
It is.
Yeah.
And it gets better the more you pay.
Sure.
Yep.
It gets better for us the more you pay.
Just saying.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
totally. Let's get out of here, shall we?
Let's.
All right.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. Bye.
Farewell.
Fair jacket.
Ah. My ears.
Twitter.com/BMFcast.
He was putting sauce on it.
He did, yeah.
Don't knock the sauce.
I like how you said, I'm going to delete my account. And BJ said, don't delete your account. I like your tweets. And you're like, I don't like my tweets. And they said, well, delete your account.
That was a ride. We
We had a
went
full
places
360
with
there.
that.
Life moves pretty fast.
I think I have a bumper to record.
You do?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sweet. A new bumper. I want to hear it. Wait. Are we going to let the people hear it?
I don't know. I'm workshopping it in my head.
Oh.
What do you say, people? You want to hear it? I don't know, because I closed the chat.
Oh, no. Oh, the window's still open, though.
No, I mean, yeah, we're still on. I just
Yeah,
have
just don't at him.
don't at me, bro.
He's not going to answer. All
clo-
right,
I
let's see
closed the
what my
chat.
Comcast has reached. My data.
Oh, I bet it went over.
That hot data.
I bet I'm over now.
Oh no!
Oh, 2337 now out of 1024.
That's double lead. It's lead plus 1,000.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's too late.
To quit.
Too late to quit.
All right, let's see where I was at.
I haven't looked at
1010.
mine in so long. Let's see what I have. Here.
You're not. You're done. You're gonna go over.
Think so?
You got 2 days still.
1018.
You're done.
Only used 8 gigs in the last 8 hours.
Holy
You need to
shit.
shut it down, dude. You need to shut it down, or you're gonna go over.
What have I done this month? I've only downloaded 829 gigabytes.
What?
I don't know.
You fucking pussy.
Apparently.
You gotta up your game.
Get on
Well,
the fucking
October 2.3 terabytes.
Holy shit.
Jeez.
So you're where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Well, that was Red Dead was 110 gigs of that.
I don't know what I've been doing. Why?
Where's my AT&T account? No doubt about it.
So, you gonna do this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You want me to shut the camera off? Or do you want
It's up to you. Well, Jans wants to see it.
I want to hear it. The tension. It got you.
I have to not think about it and just say it. Don't hold on to all of your Christmas cash. This year, no. Don't hold on to all of your Christmas cash. This holiday season, give yourself the gift of bonus BMF content by becoming a patron of the BMFcast at patreon.com/BMFcast.
Go, ho, ho.
I'll put sleigh bells underneath it. It'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
I could maybe do a better read of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I get a little bit more jolly in that?
that's what I'm going for.
Okay. Just as long as we're on the same page here.
Don't hold on to all of your Christmas cash. This Christmas season, give yourself the gift of bonus BMF content by becoming a patron of the BMFcast at patreon.com/BMFcast.
Put too much sauce on it. There's too much sauce. You're killing me in shock. I looked over at Chuck and I just saw he was.
I was holding it together. I saw your face. And I was just like, nope.
That's why I don't look at anybody.
We were both getting a visit from the Tingle Man right there. We're like, I can't hold it anymore.
Wait,
It's
Chuck
coming out.
Tingle?
Chuck Tingle's here.
I'm going to give it one more. Don't hold on to. Chuck moved.
Now imagine this for 6 hours, and that's how you get to our the guest hosting thing.
Oh God.
The fucking Cinescrote episode.
Oh my God. Yeah, Sinistro. God, that we did record that for like 6 hours. Fuck.
Don't ho ho ho. God damn it. I thought about Chuck laughing. Don't ho ho hold on to all of your Christmas cash. This holiday season, give yourself the gift of bonus BMF content by becoming a patron of the BMFcast at patreon.com/BMFcast.
That was a good read.
Thank you.
That was solid.
That was good and it was solid.
We just had to kick Chuck out for a while. Yep. All right, there you go. Extra sauce for you patrons.
Well, this is just.
That was for everybody.
It's for
Oh,
everybody,
so
yeah. Not on the
Extra
YouTube.
sauce for you live streamers. I'm getting out of here.
Okay.
Shall we?
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Harpco.
I'm Flappy.
I gotta go into work.
I'm Slacky.
Slacky Macky.
All right. Goodbye, live stream.
Thanks for joining us.
Stay
Yeah.
classy.
Good night, everyone.
Always remember, don't add us.
Hire me to record your voicemail greetings.
Also, anime sucks.